anymore. Less than a year after wildfires burned down thousands of homes around Los Angeles. A new potential disaster this weekend in those charred areas. Heavy rain the next few days, up to 5-6 inches, could trigger landslides and flash flooding, leading to evacuation warnings in hardest-hit areas like Palisades and Altadena. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A loss for hundreds of thousands. Skies are cloudy over downtown Indianapolis this morning with the temperature sitting right at 50. It'll warm up as the day goes on with a high at 67 today. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 9:02. The state of Indiana cutting ties with one of its longtime Medicaid providers. Starting January 1st, MDYs will no longer be part of Medicaid plans. This will impact more than 300,000 Hoosiers who rely on it for coverage. The company calling the move a violation of the contract they signed with the state just last year. Hamilton County teachers walking out of a school board meeting this week after demanding higher pay. A concerned parent named Ben Greenbaum went in front of the school board on Wednesday to speak, but he was shut down.
Finding it difficult to understand why we are asking our teachers to take what amounts to a pay cut next year. With the proposed...
You're speaking about collective bargaining, and that is not on the agenda tonight.
86% of teachers in the district voted down a new contract due to a pay freeze and rising health care costs. The teachers are part of the Hamilton Southeastern Education Association. They held their own meeting in the parking lot after the board refused to discuss the issue. The state's Utility Regulatory Nominating Committee announcing this week that after holding more than 20 interviews over the last month, they've dwindled down the list of applicants to fill openings on the IURC from 47 to 9. 3 of those 9 finalists will be chosen by Governor Mike Braun to sit on the commission and oversee electric, gas, water, and telecommunication rates across the state. There's no deadline for Governor Braun to make his selection, so it's unclear how soon he'll fill those seats. Gas prices still trickling up this week. According to Gas Buddy, the statewide average today is $3.08 per gallon, and Indianapolis gas is $3.11 on average. The Indiana Pacers still struggling with the injury bug. Last night, they lost Aaron Nesmith in a 133-98 loss to the Phoenix Suns. Head coach Rick Carlisle.
Tough game, and we did a lot of good things for 3 quarters, and then they hit too many bursts.
Indiana is now 1-11 to start the season. They're back in Indianapolis to face the Raptors tomorrow. As for the second-ranked Purdue Boilermakers, they got a big win on the road last night in college hoops, beating number 8 Alabama 87-80. Preseason All-American guard Braden Smith had 29 points to lead the Boilers. A check of traffic this morning with Matt Baer.
Yeah, Jared, looking at southbound 6570, still jammed because of construction. North split down to Washington Street. And northbound 65 stop and go Keystone Avenue into the south split because of road construction. And that ramp from Washington Street to southbound 6570, it's still shut down until early Monday morning because of that bridge repair project that started earlier in the week. Traffic sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance not only lets you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Quote today at Progressive.com. Again, that's Progressive.com. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here. It's that time of year again. The trees are up, lights are twinkling, and it's the best price of the season at Sullivan Hardware and Garden. All of our artificial Christmas trees are 30% off, and these aren't your run-of-the-mill trees. They're the best quality you'll find anywhere. We've got over 120 styles. Every single one is up and on display at our Keystone and Allisonville locations, where you can actually walk through and see how they look lit up. No guessing from an online photo. From 2 feet to 14 feet tall, slim trees, full trees, block trees, we've got something for every space and every style. Plus, we're local, so if something goes wrong, we're right here to fix it. So stop in and kick off the season with us at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, where you'll find the best selection, the best service, and the best prices in Indiana. 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, Cicero, and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan and Fishers, or SullivanHardware.com.
Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15. Go to DrexelIN.com for details.
A Forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Partly cloudy skies, quiet and very mild. Beautiful afternoon on the way. A high of 63. Mostly cloudy skies, quiet, not as chilly. Lows into the low 50s. I'm Wish TV Storm Tracking meteorologist Marcus Bailey, 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. It's 9:06. Here's Kendall and Casey.
You're listening to Rob Kendall
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
and Casey Daniels
My government would never lie to me, would they?
on 93 WIBC.
I believe it was the famed philosopher Gozer the Gozerian in the movie Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Who said, choose the destructor.
Who thought? Did you think? Who thought?
And then when the Ghostbusters said, we don't understand, Gozer said, choose the form of the destructor. And yesterday, the IURC nominating committee chose the form of the destructor.
Yes, they announced the 9 finalists for the 3 open seats on the IURC, which Governor Braun will select.
Now, the names, look, we can give you the names. The couple that you might recognize, Josh Bain from the Indianapolis City County Council, and then Andy Zay, who's a state senator. You know, the rest of the names, they're going to mean that much to the average person. The point is these people will be, and why it should matter to you, is these people will be tasked with deciding whether the state of Indiana is going to continue to roll over and play dead for these utility companies and decide whether your rates are going to continue to go up as they've skyrocketed the last several years going forward. And quite frankly, you can boogeyman these guys all you want, but until the state changes its policy of rolling out the red carpet to mass energy consumers, front and center of these data centers, the rates are just going to keep going up. Things are going to continue to increase in cost. You're going to subsidize these large corporations until the state of Indiana takes a new approach to how they deal with energy as a collective.
Yeah, so these IURC people, they regulate electric, gas, water, and telecommunications rates, and they set service standards across Indiana. The governor can take as long as he needs to decide out of the 9 who he's going to pick. Started with 47. They interviewed 22. Now we're down to 9 people. 6 finalists recommended for the 2 Republican seats, 3 recommended for the 1 Democratic seat. But let's get to the real issue here. The one that I said was going to be in the drawing is one of the names that still remains. I believe you owe me $1.
Yeah, I think you won. I don't remember who I picked, but I don't see them on there. I don't know, none of these names look familiar that I might have actually picked. It doesn't matter. I mean, that's the point. Like people, oh, these 9 people, they're going to be 3 of them. It doesn't matter. The math tells you that unless you're willing to choke off the freebies given to these megacorps, these mega companies, these oftentimes foreign companies that are coming here that require massive amounts of power, you're going to have to continue to invest in creating more avenues by which that power can be delivered. And as long as the utilities, which have a stranglehold on the General Assembly, see the amount of money they've given to people like Ed Soliday, who we'll get to in a second, the chairman of the Utilities Commission in the House, and Coke Koch, the Coke Koch Cook, the Eric Coach Koch Cook, whatever his name is, the senator from Bedford, who we talked about the other day in the Senate, who is Soliday's counterpart in the Senate. It just doesn't matter. Like the names are irrelevant. It's the policy itself, and the state of Indiana thus far, under Braun, and certainly Holcomb before that, has seemed insistent on having a do-drop-in policy as it relates to these companies that require all this power and electricity, and they're fine with forcing you, the ratepayer, to pay for it to bring them here.
Okay, so the IURC, they try to be an impartial regulator, right? But they face a lot of scrutiny from different advocates and also the lawmakers. They get paid a nice hefty salary. So is it worth it? Is it worth to have them there?
Well, to bring it full circle, it comes to the question I've been asking on this show now for years, and no one can give me a valid answer. And it's the same question I ask in my community, and they just stare at me because they don't know. They're incapable. We are in a visionless society. in the sense of our leaders, whether it's a state level, a local level, almost everything is just happening in a vacuum. Hey, this thing's in front of us. We better vote on it. Hey, this proposal's coming to us. Yeah, we better make a decision on that. Versus, like, if you think of government should always be thought of, I always thought of government as a long-distance trip. And you have to see, first of all, like when you're planning your vacation, the first thing you've got to decide is, what's the end destination?
Where are we going?
Where do we want to go? And most governments aren't even doing that. You have to have a plan of what am I trying to accomplish? And then people can agree or disagree with that, but everything you're doing is based around where does this trip end? And then once you've decided where the trip ends, then you have to decide how you're going to get there. And in the case of the state of Indiana, or certainly a lot of these local governments, they're just in a car driving. Oh, that place looks nice. We should pull over there. Look, the world's largest candle. That'll be fun. I mean, that's how they're running the governments, and it simply doesn't work. So in the case of Indiana, until you have a clear declaration starting with the governor, which he hasn't laid out anything in terms of, hey, my goal is what? Like, what is the mission statement of the state of Indiana? What are they trying to accomplish with everything they do?
More to discover.
Yeah, there's more taxes to discover, more higher taxes to discover. And so this is an example of the state, of the government, of the local governments, not running the government the way you would run your life, which in everything you do, there has to be some sort of plan, some sort of thought of what you're trying to do, and then you proceed accordingly, and there just isn't that. So they're going to keep piping these data centers in, piping these megacorps in. They're going to roll out all these incentives because it looks great in a press release, and they'll get to go to a ribbon cutting. And then on the back end, because there's no plan, they're fine with forcing you, whether it's through higher taxes or utility bills, to pick up the slack so these companies can have these incredible subsidies.
So what you're saying is that the phrase, it's the journey, not the destination, does not apply in government.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to be a Debbie Downer about this, and maybe these people will prove me wrong, but I just don't see how they can prove me wrong when the state keeps putting it's an unlevel playing field. Like, it's just math. The math equation tells you that as long as these companies, who I don't see a lot, and this is what's most frustrating, I don't see a lot of tangible benefit for the consumer in this case, the customer is the taxpayer, of them being there. I certainly see benefit for the company of being here, given all the benefits they get for coming, and I get that they're building this thing, but the thing that they're building is helping them. I don't see how it's helping me or helping us, and then I have to pay more for it.
The other thing that I keep thinking about with Andy Zay's name on the list, he's a state senator from Northeast Indiana. He's been there since 2016. If he moves into this IURC position, he can't remain a state senator. Do they already have somebody in mind that they want to replace him with?
They always have somebody lined up, Casey. And that's just old hat for these people. So many of these House and Senate seats now, these guys quit before their term is up. So that the party,
they got the next gig already lined up.
So the party can pick the replacement, and then that person starts with an unfair advantage, and they can fundraise, and they can, not that anybody would ever use their office to dole out favors to specific people based on their influence or whatever, but there's just, it's amazing what the re-election rate is for people. It's basically a continuous incumbent protection act, and that's because these guys, these girls, whoever gets these positions, then can build those, we'll call them relationships. They can build those relationships with the influential people who just happen to put money in your campaign account. And so that's the way this goes.
Do you want to get to what Ed Soliday said?
Yes. So Ed Soliday, this was fascinating. So our old pal, Indy reporter, Stephen Whitmer at Indy. Let's take a break. Ed Soliday is the head of utilities in the House, and we've talked about him before. He is a total scumbag. And you always raise your eyebrows when I say something that you weren't anticipating. Well,
you surprised me.
I
don't know why.
Yeah, I
don't know why I'm surprised.
Calling some guy a scumbag is like not even registering on the list of offensive things I've said over the years. He's the same guy, head of the utilities, who sent that
steak dinner solid day.
steak dinner. So he got all this money from the utilities, and then Austin Bonta, who's the mayor of Portage, came out several months ago and was like, "Hey, we kind of think the utilities are too high. The IURC shouldn't be raising the rates on my people anymore. My constituents are hurting." And he sent him this text message, and Bonta came on our show and talked about it and said, the guy sent me a text message basically saying, "I'll show you if you don't shut your big yapper. We'll do whatever we want to do, and you'll like it." And what do you call that? I mean, if he knows people are getting screwed and he's like, "You better shut your mouth or I'll show you screwed." What would you call that? A great guy?
No.
Is it a person deserving of a trophy or an award?
No.
Yeah, I think I labeled him perfectly.
All right.
We got to play this audio from him when we come back, and it surely shows why we are in this position we are in as it pertains to not only utilities, but also just our government as a collective.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Even though the government's back open, another 600 flights canceled today.
93 WIBC.
Planning tariff exemptions on food.
Make sure that more people can afford a good life.
What happens next
Afford homes, young people start families.
happens here.
The worst day for the market in a month. The Dow plunged nearly 800 points.
Together, we will illuminate the pathway for today's children.
Stay in the know
To become tomorrow's builders.
while you're on the go.
Climb aboard the Reindeer Express for a holiday train ride that starts this weekend.
On air, online, and on Alexa.
Serving Indiana means being ready for growing energy demands. At Duke Energy, we're adding more power to the grid and working on hundreds of local projects to make your energy more reliable. We've strengthened nearly 20,000 poles, updated more than 270 substations, and prevented hundreds of thousands of outage hours with self-healing grid technology, so your power can come back on faster than ever. That's the smarter energy future Indiana deserves. Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
Look, switching point of sale systems is a total nightmare, right? But here's the thing. Shopify POS makes switching easier. A Shopify POS expert, a real human being, helps with setup and data migration. No need to be your own tech support, because with Shopify POS, you get support for free. You'll also get a free card reader and 25% off POS subscription fees. Switching your POS is easier with Shopify. Eligibility requirements apply. To learn more, visit shopify.com/switch now. That's shopify.com/switch now.
Neighborhoods are popping up everywhere, but if you want something different than what you're currently seeing, Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield, can build you a unique custom home on your own private lot or anywhere you can bring your own builder. They've built hundreds of homes across central Indiana. Visit Joyner Homes Model Homes or go to joynerhomes.com to see floor plans and pricing and more. With Joyner Homes, you can even start from scratch if you want. Check out their 5-star Google reviews and visit joynerhomes.com.
Do you remember what was happening in America? Families struggling, billions in wasteful spending. But Senator Todd Young fought back. He voted for working family tax cuts, and Senator Young voted to crack down on waste, fraud, and abuse, saving taxpayers billions. So call Senator Todd Young at 202-224-5623 and thank him for supporting the Working Families Tax Cut. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
Truck drivers, wherever you want to take your driving career in 2026, Schneider has an opportunity for you. Our huge selection of driving jobs means you can get the home time that suits your schedule. Choose from daily, weekly, monthly, or sometime in between. Plus, Schneider drivers can choose from dedicated, intermodal, dry van, and tanker options. Don't wait to upgrade your career before the new year. Search jobs and apply now at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Attention Indianapolis families. Legal Prep Academy is opening in Indianapolis in fall 2026 for grades 6 through 12. Free, public, and open to all. At Legal Prep, students don't just learn about the law. They learn to lead, to advocate, and to make a difference in whatever career they choose. Transportation will be available. Enroll now through Enroll Indy for students entering 6th to 9th grade in fall 2026. Visit legalprep.org/Indy to learn more. Discover Legal Prep Academy, where education meets opportunity.
Hamilton is coming. Tickets are on sale now for the Tony and Pulitzer Prize-winning musical, Hamilton, in Indianapolis at Old National Center from December 2nd to the 14th. Get tickets at BroadwayInIndianapolis.com.
Did you get a heating and air conditioning quote that you're just not sure of? Give us a call for a free second opinion.
317-577-8077 for Family Heating and Air, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Okay, we got to play you this audio that is going to show you just what sort of people are running our society and why you're getting screwed at every turn. It's Kendall Casey show. I'm Rob. Casey's here. We were talking about last segment how the IURC nominating committee has chosen the destroyer, the destructor, to quote Gozer the Gozerian in Ghostbusters. They've nominated their people that the governor will choose to head up the IURC, the Indiana Utility Regulatory Committee, who will decide essentially utility rates and how much you continue to get screwed going forward. And our old pal Indy Reporter at Indy_Reporter_ on Facebook went to this event the other day, and I don't know what the program brochure at the gates of hell actually look like, but I think it may actually resemble this with some of these people's picture on it. We welcome you to the gates of hell, and here's who you'll be hearing from over and over and over again. And one of the, so it was the Indiana, what is this, Manufacturers Association, sponsored by Lilly, by the way.
Of course.
It's all right. It's always, and I'm sure Lilly did that out of the goodness of their heart. And these, they have all these speakers, and it's Susie Jaworski, the energy secretary, who really wants energy companies to sue municipalities if they don't get their way. And then these two other speakers were Eric Koch-Koch, this guy from Bedford, who is the head utility guy in the Senate, and then his partner in crime, Ed Soliday, the House utility head, who, I mean, is a complete piece of garbage. And the arrogance that oozes from these guys, they don't care about you. That's the takeaway from this. They don't care about you or your ability to pay or your financial well-being at all. Whatever they think needs to be done for the quote-unquote greater good, and in their mind, the greater good is bringing all of these companies and power suckers to the state of Indiana, they're fine with it. That your rates could double, they could triple, they could quadruple, whatever. They don't care, Casey.
Yeah, no, not at all. So Ed Soliday, he was talking about HB 1628, and more or less what that does is it just takes control away from local government.
Yeah, and we have seen people like Susie Jaworski, the failed state house candidate in the state of Indiana. She lost, and like with everything else with government,
failed up.
We just promote people who are losers. See Jennifer Ruth Green, and Braun gave her this. I think it's a $275,000 job with his administration. I think that's what they pay all these whatever they are, cabinet secretaries,
positions,
whatever they are. And she. I mean, what do you call somebody who lost an election? She's a loser, right? I mean, would I call her a winner? She lost.
No, she lost.
Yeah, so loser, Susie Jaworski.
She ended up winning in the end, though.
Well, I mean, that's the way it works in the government. You get rejected by the voters. You get told see the comptroller, Elise Nishala, lost an election, gets appointed to something else. That's the way it works. We don't listen to what the people say. Anyway, she has said that, essentially, if these peasants, these minions, these untowards at local governments want to stand up for their communities and constituents, that they should be sued by these energy companies. The state does not want you to have a say. They do not want your community to reflect your values. They want to be able to do whatever they want to do.
We'll tell you what's going to happen.
Exactly. So here is Ed Soliday, and let's just listen to the arrogance in this guy's voice as he's talking about this bill and the ability of local governments to have say about their community.
Big barrier to wind and solar, to jump ahead on your questions, is not Eric Cook and I. It's 72 counties that say not in my backyard. We did some legislation with limited moratoriums last year and so forth, but I did a bill just to hear the noise. 6 hours of hearings on 1628 that said no local can pass an ordinance that affects other surrounding areas. It was brutal. I even got my own copy of the Constitution that somebody gave me because they alleged I hadn't read it. So, actually, I go to lawyers. I can go to Eric if it's a constitutional issue.
The burden is not me or Eric.
It was brutal.
The burden was the 72 counties of unwashed peasants who have stood up and said, oh, we have concerns about giant solar farms going in our backyard.
You sit down. I don't care what you say. I'm in charge here.
And look, this guy is not like an outlier in terms of the General Assembly. He is more a reflection of the General Assembly that, hey, we're all glad they're not like him. So we're all the bottom line is it doesn't matter who gets appointed to the IURC as long as guys like Koch, Cook, whatever his name is, and Soliday are calling the shots.
Yeah.
We donezo. Right. It don't matter. They're just going to keep jamming these things down our throat. And eventually they're going to take away your ability to stop it altogether.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen here.
All right, so there's been a lot of talk about a new casino potentially going in downtown Indianapolis. And people are all over the map on this thing. When we come back, our old pal Jacob Stewart, columnist from Indy Star, is going to join us. He says disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah, he says don't bring a casino to Indianapolis, and we'll hear why coming up from 93 WIBC.
This year, make Christmas cash with Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling, family-owned in Indy for 3 generations, are names you know and trust. Bring in your scrap aluminum, steel, copper, or brass and turn it into holiday spending money. Whether you're decking the halls, buying gifts, or just want a little extra jingle in your pocket, cash is king at Farnsworth.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Indiana. T&Cs apply.
Helzberg gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for Mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for Dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is going to be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop in store at Helzberg.com for up to 50% off.
Right now at Tom Roush Lincoln, get a 2025 Lincoln Corsair from $4,000 off plus 0% APR. 2025 Lincoln Aviator from $5,000 off plus 0%. Or 2025 Lincoln Nautilus from $4,500 off, also 0% APR. So come get that new Lincoln at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fisher.
Corsair MSRP 51,720. Aviator MSRP 72,225. Nautilus MSRP 71,60. 0% APR for 48 months on qualifying Lincolns. Good through 12/1/2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Woke radical liberals are screwing up this country, but Senator Jim Banks is fighting back. He backed one big, beautiful tax cut for working families, ending Social Security taxes for nearly all seniors, and taxes on tips and overtime gone. So call Senator Jim Banks at 202-224-4814 and thank him for backing working family tax cuts and putting America first. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Allowing some time to strike something long-term. It's partly cloudy, 51 in downtown Indy. Your high today, 67. I'm Jarrett Lewis. This report at 9:30 brought to you by Window Nation. The new spending bill signed into law this week by President Trump, providing fiscal year 2025 funding to keep the government open until the end of January, giving negotiators more time to strike a long-term deal. House Speaker Mike Johnson tells Fox Business' Mornings with Maria that he's trying to get all of the annual appropriations bills done by January.
The goal is all 12, and I'm doggedly determined to make that happen. If we fall short and there are 2 or 3 left on the table, then we would do a continuing resolution to finish those, but it wouldn't be anything like the stakes of this long nightmare that we just went through, because remember, all the bills, everything would be funded.
3 of the 12 individual bills were signed into law with the most recent legislation. The FAA rolling back planned flight reductions following the end of the shutdown.
Flight reductions are frozen at 6%. But remember, if the government shutdown didn't end, it would have been at 10% by today. So the FAA safety team is going to be monitoring the airspace hour by hour, and they'll eliminate those reductions as soon as it's safe to do so. But still, there are problems for travelers. Now, you might be concerned about Thanksgiving, of course, less than 2 weeks away. But the CEO of Delta says he thinks the problems will be resolved before then. There have been 11,176 cancellations since Friday. That's when those flight reductions started.
Fox's Nate Foy reporting. And the Labor Department recently launching 175 investigations into alleged H-1B visa violations by companies in the U.S. Labor Secretary Lori Chavez-DeRemer said the intent of this probe is to ensure American wages are protected and that companies aren't abusing the system. The H-1B visa allows companies to bring foreign talent and workers into the U.S. under certain circumstances. Your opening bell report on 93 WIBC brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management. Stocks falling. The Dow down 315 points to 47,457. The S&P 500 also in the red, 62 points to 6,737. And the NASDAQ is down 344 points to 24,993. I'm Jarrett Lewis on The Level on the go and at WIBC.com.
What's Jeff Saturday up to these days?
Retiring from football means a lot of things for a guy like me. It means more time to pick up some hobbies, like baking, puzzles, and some gardening. It also means pinching pennies. And that's why I look for unclaimed property at indianaunclaimed.gov. Look, it's your money, and they want you to have it. So check indianaunclaimed.gov or text Jeff to 46220 and search now.
Macy's just dropped tons of new Black Friday deals. And with more being added every week, you can save on everything you need for the holidays. Like festive dinnerware for 60% off, women's designer looks for 30 to 50% off, and men's suits, blazers, and more for 50 to 70% off. So come into Macy's, beat the rush, and get your holiday shopping done early. Black Friday starts here at Macy's. Savings off select styles. Exclusions apply.
Hammer and Nigel here for Window Nation. You want your home to be comfortable year-round, your family protect, and an investment that you can feel great about for years. Now, during Window Nation's end of the year sale this November, you could save big on windows to do just that. You'll save 50% off all window styles, plus you can get 0% financing for 5 years. And your total price even includes Window Nation's professional one-day installation.
Window Nation has an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. And if you prefer to hear what other customers have to say about Window Nation, check out the over 45,000 5-star customer reviews. Put an end to your window problems right now. Don't wait. Window Nation's end of the year sale. It's your chance to save big with 50% off all window styles, 0% financing for 5 years. Sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com to get started. That's windownation.com.
Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15. Go to drexelin.com for details.
Well, I got a job and tried to put my money away, but I got in too deep and I could not pay.
So would a casino work in downtown Indy? Our next guest says not so much. Kendall Casey Show. I'm Rob Casey's here, joined by our old pal Jacob Stewart, columnist, Indy Star, and he says no dice on a downtown casino in Indianapolis. Jacob Stewart, hello.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
All right, so tell us, a lot of people think, oh, casino, revenue, people, commerce, economic development, this will be great. Your column today says not so much.
Right. Yeah. So we have a little over 10 casinos in the state. Most of them are placed in kind of the edges of the state. Part of that's a reflection of the fact that, they used to only be allowed on like rivers and stuff like that, bodies of water.
They didn't want anybody in a population that are having any fun whatsoever.
and then the other factor too is like you want to draw as many people from out of state as possible. But now, we have one in the southern part of Indiana that's not doing so well. There's a couple casinos nearby that are taking business from them, I suppose.
And there was one in the northern part of the state that was doing so poorly that they ended up moving that to Terre Haute, right? So
yeah, I think so.
So, real quick, why do you think these casinos are struggling? Is it because people just do so much online betting now? They don't need to go to a casino? Like, what is the reason for that?
I'm 100% sure that's part of it. Online gambling is just exploding. Sports betting, internet gambling still illegal in Indiana, but I'm sure there are ways around that. I see ads for it all the time. And then, of course, the liberalization of gambling laws everywhere, and more casinos are popping up in the surrounding states.
You don't have to travel.
Right, yeah. So it's closer to people that want to go gamble.
Okay, so I remember years ago when I was pondering running for state senate, I talked with a pretty high-profile lobbyist related to the industry. And in my mind, it was like, oh, wouldn't this be great to have a casino right in downtown Indianapolis? And they were like, no, we don't want that. The kind of the dirty secret is a lot of people, I guess unless maybe you would be the one getting the license and all the benefit, in the gambling industry are completely against a casino going downtown Indianapolis.
Right, that's another factor, too. There's one in Shelbyville, one in Anderson, and the gambling study that came out deciding where would be the best place to relocate the casino said it would take a significant amount of money from those casinos. So, and that's above and beyond just the impact of locating it in an urban population center and the impact of that on especially like the low-income people around. If you live within 10 miles of a casino, you have double the chance of having a gambling problem. All these things, if you live in a low-income, disadvantaged neighborhood, you're 90% more likely to have a gambling problem.
Wait. Jacob Stewart from IndyStar is our guest. He's got a new column out talking about the harm a casino in downtown Indianapolis could do. Where do you find data on that? Like, who does data on if you live within X amount of miles of a casino, you're more apt to have your life destroyed?
Right. Well, it's a lot of the information I got was from the University at Buffalo. They've done extensive studies on gambling and addiction and various things like that. I've said this before on the show. I majored in neuroscience. I studied, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I studied compulsive alcoholism in mice.
I took a class
college.
in the history of the Beatles one time in college.
But it's like there's a lot of data that you can
Got
do.
an A+, Casey, by the way. A+.
Compulsive alcoholism?
That was a class?
No, it was a lab.
Oh, you like for fun? You just like, I'm going to take
in
this?
mice, what do? Get a thimble or a dropper and force feed them?
Yeah, pretty much. We had a dropper and we gave them a bunch of alcohol and
So gambling's bad for you, drinking's bad for you. Basically, I'm done, Casey. It's all over for me. Okay, but you're saying in this column that there's information that having a casino in a major metropolitan area like downtown Indianapolis will dramatically have a more dramatic impact on lower income people in a negative fashion.
Right. And the way people actually study this is that they look at the changes in gambling laws over time. Every state didn't change their laws at the same time, so they had somewhat of a fair comparison. And, seeing the impact and taking surveys and things like that of local populations. And it all comes back to this factor of accessibility. If you have like a tourist trap casino in, per se, Las Vegas, it's going to be a lot harder for, a poor person to fly all the way to Las Vegas.
Right.
Somehow do that under the cover of night, not alerting their family members, than it would be to, if you drive by a casino on the way to work. Maybe you stop by afterwards and say, oh, you stayed late at work.
Interesting. So you also said this is not this end-all be-all revenue generator that people think it might be.
Right. Yeah. I mean, for one, because of the fact that if you're a low-income person, you're more likely to gamble more frequently and lose more money at the casino. That's taking money from the people that many city services are intended to help. So it's like what people would call a regressive tax. And it just doesn't make financial sense because you're pushing these people further into poverty, and then you're going to come around and use that tax money for what? To, give them something else? Like, it just doesn't make sense. It's like, how to phrase it? It's
basically by tax would be subsidizing the casino then at this point.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's making the problem worse. And
okay, so we've heard your theory on this. What about the decision makers? What are they thinking?
Yeah, so far, the decision makers that I've talked to, as far as local decision makers, are a lot more supportive of the casino in Indianapolis.
You're talking like Hogsett?
Yes. So Senator Freeman has for a long time been supportive of this casino, and I talked to him about this issue. And he mentioned that he'd been working with some local officials in the Hogshead administration about, where could we potentially locate a casino. They seem to be supportive, from what I've heard. And, if you look at some of the other locations that were mentioned in this gambling study, northeastern Indiana, which was actually the top spot, the local official there, Senator Johnson, is not currently supportive.
Because they just voted one down up there, didn't they?
Exactly. And a big part of that issue was, so the senator that's been pushing a lot of this has been Senator Zay from northeastern Indiana.
Who's now potentially on the IURC.
He is.
He may no longer be a problem.
He's one of the 9.
Yeah. Well, so he wanted to relocate that struggling casino to New Haven, even though it's outside of his district. He told me he was doing it on behalf of the mayor there because the local officials weren't supportive. But that was like a huge issue when it came to people coming to the State House to testify against it, because they see this.
I don't mean to cut you off here. That's the most political thing ever. The people aren't supportive of it. The politicians aren't supportive of it. But my buddy, the mayor's supportive of it. So I'll take care of it.
Yeah. Yeah, so needless to say, people were not happy. They showed up to the State House en masse. Some people I know, and they ended up killing the bill, I think, shortly after that testimony happened. So that died, and then the bill got converted into a casino study to decide where the best location for a casino to be.
Taxpayer dollars.
And funny enough,
paying for a study.
The number one location was also in northeastern Indiana, also outside of Senator Zay's district.
Hey, it's Jacob Stewart's our guest from Indy Star, a columnist. Had a new column out about the harmful effects of a downtown casino here in Indianapolis. Hey, before I let you go, redistricting, right? Like, it's getting down to the nitty-gritty. People are coming down on both sides. You've been pretty adamant you thought it was going to go through.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit more doubtful now. There are several no voices coming out. I'm still slightly on the side of I think it's going to end up happening, but I won't be surprised at this point if it doesn't.
Get a reason you think that these people are starting to come out with the no's? I mean, the no's have been kind of quiet, and now you've seen Bassler and Leisig and those people. Any reason you think now they're getting a little more mouthy than they've been before?
I think they're just hopeful that leadership is against it enough to where they'll be shielded from any consequences, and I think that's a big part of it. There's also this factor of, I think, especially among the base, the grassroots that have been pushing for redistricting. Like, what's the point of, giving, the Trump administration a 9-0 map in Indiana if they're going to, recently Trump said something about American workers being unskilled and how we need a bunch of H-1B visas. What's the point of, giving a 9-0 map if we have the administration is just going to sell us out?
They always come down to our side, Casey, eventually. Sometimes it takes them 6 months,
They'll
but they always
come
end up.
around.
Jacob Stewart, find him at IndyStar.com. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
It's Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel's show this afternoon. It's Beer Sample Friday, the biggest stories in Indy. And did I mention it's Beer Sample Friday, baby? Let's go!
Hi, I'm Emily, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, where a small box with a burgundy bow will help you win the holidays. As an in-house designer, I love creating meaningful, fine jewelry gifts. Choose a necklace with a gorgeous infinity charm to symbolize your everlasting love. Or go for a personalized piece with an engraving, their zodiac sign, favorite color gemstone, or their initial accented with pave diamonds. Because a friend wants you to be a holiday hero. Stop by or shop now at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. If you're living with a chronic condition like diabetes, chronic heart failure, or a cardiovascular disorder, you might count on extra support with your healthcare too. That's why United Healthcare offers chronic special needs plans with extra benefits and a large provider network to choose from. Visit uhc.com/Medicare to find out if you qualify today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Indiana can count on. Provider network may vary in local market.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, is it true?
What's that?
Tire Discounters is offering up to $200 off sets of Goodyear tires?
Absolutely.
Plus free alignment and a full synthetic oil change?
You got it.
I'm not one to exaggerate, but that may be the best deal in the history of the world.
But free would be better.
Mike, don't toy with me.
Through the holidays, every day we're open, someone will get their money back on 4 tires.
But I...
Just breathe, Phantom. Breathe.
No purchase necessary and 12/31/25. Visit website for details.
Another accident? What happened?
Our truck driver got cut off, and they're getting blamed. No witnesses, no proof.
and insurance is skyrocketing.
Wait, our drivers shouldn't take the blame for this?
Exactly why we need Samsara. Their AI dashcam show real-time video proving when our drivers aren't at fault.
So we protect our drivers and avoid false claims?
Yep. Companies using Samsara have exonerated their drivers and saved millions on insurance.
Protect your drivers and your bottom line at Samsara.com. Samsara. Operate smarter.
Hey, it's Big Joe for Absolute Comfort, your trusted independent American Standard Air dealer. And owner Chris Swedican sells the Mitsubishi Electric Mini Split, a great option for heating and cooling where ductwork can't be installed.
If you have one of those homes that has baseboard heat or electric heat, ceiling cable heat, these can be specifically designed for those houses because in those houses it's very difficult having to do all the construction and remodeling that goes with adding ductwork into those types of homes.
Find out more by going to AbsoluteComfort.org. Absolute Comfort is your trusted independent American Standard Air Mitsubishi Electric Elite Ductless Pro dealer.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Look, switching point of sale systems is a total nightmare, right? But here's the thing. Shopify POS makes switching easier. A Shopify POS expert, a real human being, helps with setup and data migration. No need to be your own tech support, because with Shopify POS, you get support for free. You'll also get a free card reader and 25% off POS subscription fees. Switching your POS is easier with Shopify. Eligibility requirements apply. To learn more, visit shopify.com/switch now. That's shopify.com/switch now.
Want to be in the room where it happens? Win opening night tickets to Broadway's Hamilton Tuesday, December 2nd. Enter now at WIBC.com for your shot to see the show everyone's talking about.
Okay, so people are all upset about this thing with Apple and your passport being able to be in your Apple wallet.
Yes.
I don't understand why people are so up in arms over this. No one's being forced to do this, right?
Correct.
It's not like you're being held at gunpoint. You must upload your passport to your Apple wallet. So you would do it if you chose to do it of your own free will and volition because you think the ease of being able to have it there is better than just having to take a physical passport around with you.
Even though it doesn't replace the physical passport. It's just like in addition to.
Oh, wait. So you can't show that and it
You
counts?
can't. No, you can at 250 different TSA checkpoints. Not every state is allowing it. Arizona, California, Colorado, Georgia, Hawaii, Iowa, Maryland, Montana, New Mexico, Ohio, and Puerto Rico will all accept the Apple digital ID from your Apple wallet.
Okay, but what are people upset about? If you want to do it, it's no different than the TikTok thing, right? Like you and I have talked about this. I'm never going to be on the TikTok because I don't want to help China. But if you want to be on the TikTok, I'm going to laugh at you and go, that's funny. You're giving all your stuff to China. And then I'm going to go about my merry way. But people are like up in arms over Apple, people uploading their passport to their Apple wallet. Why?
Well, I think it's because an indication of what's to come. What are the future implications of having a digital ID? We've talked about this in the past.
But the government isn't making you do it.
No, they're not.
These people just come off as people who want to find something to be angry about. Rather than, like, if someone chooses to do it, you can go, I don't think that's very wise, and then go, well, it's not me, so I don't really care. But there are people who are just livid about this.
Yeah, so Apple says that all the passport data will be encrypted on the device. It's protected by your Face ID or your Touch ID. And what you have to do is you have to upload your photo from your physical passport. And then on the back of your passport, there's this little embedded chip, and you have to scan that with your phone. And then it will go into your Apple wallet. And Apple says they do have future plans for expansion with this, with business use and also online age verification. So I think the concern that people have, not only privacy concerns around Apple tracking ID usage, but future implications of what the digital ID could become.
But that's with government
oversight, right? Making you do it.
Yeah, like I mean, first of all, the best way to not upload your passport to the Apple wallet
Don't do it.
Just don't have a passport.
Oh,
just don't
there's
ever
that option.
I mean, why would you want to leave the country anyway with all the stuff going on around the world?
Mhm.
I don't understand that at all. But if one of those people wants to go, you can still take your little flip book, right? You can still with your photo on it, and then you just show it and you go about your merry way.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
I don't.
And they're saying that it's supposed to save time going through TSA.
How?
That's the part I don't understand. I don't get that either.
Because they still got to look at it, review it.
It's still got to be scanned,
Yeah.
right? Checked. It's not like you just flash it and you're on your way.
Now, when you leave the country, because you've left the country before, right?
Mhm.
When you go to another country, you get off the airplane and then you got to show.
Yeah, and you go through customs.
And they look at it.
Yeah,
And they
and-
make sure you're a legitimate person.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that you actually match the person that's on the passport.
Right.
And
Do they ask you questions? Have you been grilled before?
no, not really.
Really?
No.
I mean, you look
I don't,
pretty
I don't look
innocent.
sus, so I get through pretty easily.
Okay, all right. So I didn't understand what was going on with this
Mhm.
because I'd seen people on the internet, and then I started reading a little bit about it, and I was like, nobody's being forced to do this. You're choosing to do this.
Correct.
And if you want to,
But will we be forced to do it in the future?
okay, that's a different conversation. I have enough things to bitch about now that I'm being forced to do. I don't have time to
What
focus on
happens? What happens if you lose your phone or your battery dies, and you don't have the physical copy with you?
Well, I've always thought this about the tickets, right? Because they're all the whole thing with the tickets now,
Mhm.
where they're I don't understand how any of that works, but
I put the ticket in my wallet.
okay. But my point is, what if you get there and it's
Mhm.
not working for some reason? You don't
Right.
get to enter the game.
I guess.
And why did we look? There was something magical about the ticket. The idea of I have the ticket.
You have the golden ticket.
I have the thing that I can keep that then I
Mhm.
remember. How am I supposed to have a physical memento of something on a phone?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sorry, you can't scrapbook it with it then.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You can't go back and look at that anymore
Mhm.
because there's something magical about like when I went to see the Rolling Stones at the track in 2015, I still have that ticket. And the ticket is so cool because it's like the Rolling Stones logo is behind the white and black checkered flag. It's obviously specifically made for an event at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's all the memories of being there. Like it all floods back seeing that ticket.
Yeah, that's
But
great.
that doesn't exist here.
That's great if you're having some amazing destiny, some vacation. But for the business traveler, do you think they're keeping their ticket from, Indianapolis to Dubuque?
Well, no, but
they
we're
don't care.
talking. But we've already moved past that, Casey. We've already moved. We're on to the ticket. The virtual ticket. I've decided now this is where I'm going to make my stand is the virtual ticket. Because I think this is the most stupid thing ever that I don't get a physical ticket because for a while they let you print out a piece of paper. Maybe they
Yes.
still do. It's been a long time since I've been to anything that required a ticket. Do they still let you print out a physical piece of paper? Kev, you go to stuff all the time. Do they still let you hand? It used to be you can put this in your phone or you can print this thing out. I would print it out. Do they still let you do that?
Yeah, that's usually the first thing I do when I go to the airport is I just go to those kiosks
and you print
just
it.
put in your info and you can print it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about tickets to stuff, Kevin. I'm talking about I go to the Pacers game.
Oh, yeah. Generally speaking, I mean, I'm sure you could.
Yeah, you can still do that. But then you just have a piece of paper. Who wants to scrapbook that? Look, I printed this out on
You
my...
want the heavy
my-
card stock,
That's
the ticket.
Yeah, it's got like I don't know. Anyway, sorry.
You know what? At the airport, though, since I did just recently fly...
Kevin's sitting over there like, this guy's such a miserable person. I've had to work with him for 5 years now.
Oh, poor Kevin. It's Friday.
Yeah, I'm hanging in there.
I asked him how he was, and he said, looking forward to the weekend.
In fairness, though, I've told Kevin for years he needs to get the hell away from me, and that would be the best career move for him. And he hasn't done it.
He's not listening. But when I see people with the ticket at the airport now, Rob, I think that they're not digitally literate. That's what I think when I see it. Like they're not into 2025 yet.
But who cares?
There's an easier way now.
But easier for you.
Right there on your phone.
But maybe it's not for them because what if, like you said, what if that one time your phone dies
Yeah.
or
That's why you got an ABC.
There's
Always be charging.
Apple? But what about an app? Could be an outage? Could there be something where it's down?
These are the questions.
But you know when it's not down?
When
if you have
have
that
the
little piece of
if
paper.
you have the
right?
physical ticket.
Exactly.
I understand.
It's like people at the grocery store that paid for the people to shop for them. You know when your order doesn't get screwed up.
When you do it yourself?
When you do it yourself. Oh, they don't have the thing I want. I just go about the next thing. No replacement. No, that wasn't what I wanted. Not the wrong size. You just go to the next thing.
So we had a Republican state senator announcing that he is opposed to redrawing Indiana's congressional districts. Oh, the redistricting talk that's been going on since the summer.
Going down to the wire.
Continues next on 93 WIBC.
It's the Medicare Advantage annual enrollment period, and Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Are you ready to build your custom dream home? Joyner Homes is ready to make your dream come true. Over 18 years, Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield, have built hundreds of homes in central Indiana. And the best place to start is JoynerHomes.com. That's where you'll find pricing, photos of completed Joyner homes to inspire you, available home sites, and info on where you can visit their model homes and a lot more. Be sure to check out Joyner Homes' 5-star Google reviews. Get started today at JoynerHomes.com.
Food insecurity is an urgent problem, one that impacts real Hoosiers. You can help today. Gleaners needs donations. Your contribution goes further with Gleaners. For every $10 you give, Gleaners leverages their resources to turn your $10 into $90 worth of groceries for families who desperately need help right now. Your gift benefits local community members, and every dollar counts. Gleaners also needs volunteers now to help with warehouse distribution. Go to gleaners.org and donate or get involved today.
Hi, it's T. Brian Hayes here from the Retirement Money Matters Show. Well, it's crunch time because time is running out for the year 2025, and that means the clock is ticking on some very important financial and retirement planning moves you have to or very well may need to make by the end of this year. Join me this weekend as we inform you about these specific moves that have to be done to avoid losing money in penalties, taxes, or lost opportunity cost. The Retirement Money Matters Show airs this Saturday morning at 6 a.m. right here on WIBC.
Right now at Tom Roush Lincoln, get a 2025 Lincoln Corsair for $4,000 off plus 0% APR. 2025 Lincoln Aviator for $5,000 off plus 0%. Or 2025 Lincoln Nautilus for $4,500 off. Also 0% APR. So come get that new Lincoln at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fisher.
Corsair MSRP 51,720. Aviator MSRP 72,225. Nautilus MSRP 71,660. 0% APR for 48 months on qualifying Lincolns. Good through 12/1/2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Guys, don't propose with a ring that she didn't pick out. Trust us, she already has a ring in mind. So engage with Gage Diamonds, in person or online, where Gage's skilled ring designers will work with her to create the perfect setting, matched with the perfect stone. Gage specializes in exquisite lab-grown diamonds. Financing available. GageDiamonds.com. We're engagement's middle name.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, the number of Hoosiers at risk of losing health care coverage coming in the new year, how Gleaners Food Bank is still working to assist Hoosiers who need fed, and did the Pacers win in the last game of their West Coast road trip last night? You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis.
Another Biden policy undone in the new Trump era. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and this affects air travel. Still not back to normal after the government shutdown. More on that in a moment. But today, the Trump administration canceled a Biden Transportation Department plan that would have required airlines to pay passengers compensation in cash. not vouchers or credits or miles, when their flights are delayed at least 3 hours. A statement this morning says that rule was an unnecessary regulatory burden. Now to today's travel.
Flight reductions are frozen at 6%, but remember, if the government shutdown didn't end, it would have been at 10% by today. So the FAA safety team is going to be monitoring the airspace hour by hour, and they'll eliminate those reductions as soon as it's safe to do so.
Fox's Nate Foy at New York's LaGuardia Airport says that could take a few more days. Those reductions have canceled more than 600 flights with over 600 delays, but those are not caused anymore by air traffic controller stickouts. They'll get a lot of their back pay by tonight. For a second day in a row, there's a big stock market sell-off. The Dow's plunging almost 500 points as the Trump administration focuses on affordability issues. Vice President Vance tells Fox they want to
make sure that more people can afford a good life. They can afford to buy homes. Young people can afford to start families. And we've actually got good jobs that put people on a career trajectory to stability.
Some tariffs are being lifted from several countries trying to lower prices on things like bananas and cocoa and coffee. Democrats keep pushing to extend Obamacare tax credits expiring at year's end be extended to prevent big increases in premiums for millions of Americans. But House Speaker Mike Johnson tells Fox Business that is
subsidizing insurance companies.
So he's not set a vote on an extension like the Senate has.
The Democrat Party created this on their own. They're the ones that put the expiration date on it, December 31 of this year, because they knew it was a boondoggle. There was no way they could justify that being permanent policy.
A new prosecutor has been appointed in Georgia to take the 2020 election interference case up against President Trump. The federal indictment was dropped after he was elected again last year. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Possibly losing their coverage. We've got a partly cloudy sky. It's 53 in downtown Indianapolis. 67 is the high for today. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 10:02. Brought to you by Window Nation. One of the state's longtime Medicaid providers is no longer going to be part of Medicaid plans starting in the new year. On January 1st, MDYs will be cutting ties with the state in a move the company warns will affect more than 300,000 Hoosiers who rely on it for coverage. The company calls it unfair and harmful to patients. There's still work to do when it comes to food insecurity in the state. Here's Johnette Cruz.
Even though the record-long government shutdown is over, Gleaners Food Bank says its emergency support efforts must continue. CEO Fred Glass said the temporary SNAP cutoff showed how devastating permanent budget cuts will be. Legislation passed last July, which remains currently unchanged, slashes future SNAP funding by 15% or $214 million effective in the fiscal year of 2028. This loss equates to 80 million meals that they cannot replace. Glass said that more than 610,000 Hoosiers rely on SNAP. He urged Congress to take a lesson from the shutdown and restore full future funding for the critical program. Johnette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Forecasters say much of the state still in a drought, and we likely won't see our next chance for showers for a few days.
Got another system moving through, and it looks like for now our better chances are going to be Monday night into Tuesday and potentially beyond that.
Casey Fuson from the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says the weather should be nice if you're heading to high school football games tonight or the Monon Bell Classic tomorrow. The injuries mounting for the Pacers. They lost Aaron Nesmith early in last night's loss to the Suns. Final score 133-98. Head coach Rick Carlisle.
We got some things to figure out, and we'll figure them out. NBA games are difficult. They're physical. Everybody's amped up the physicality and the pressure, and so we're going to need to do the same.
The Pacers are now 1-11. It's their worst start to a season since 1988. They'll face the Raptors at home Saturday. In college football, also tomorrow, number 9 Notre Dame is on the road to face number 24 Pittsburgh. Ball State is at home for the final time this season against Eastern Michigan. Purdue is out west, taking on Washington, and second-ranked Indiana will look to move to 11-0 as they battle Wisconsin in Bloomington. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Kendall and Casey back in 1 minute.
Football is back, and so are great hairlines. We Grow Hair Indy has helped former local professional football players get back in the game with full natural hair. You don't have to play pro ball to get pro-level results. Hey, it's Rob, and I knew I picked the right team when I needed a Hail Mary for my hair. I called We Grow Hair Indy. Whether you're tailgating, coaching, or watching from the couch, do it with confidence. Trade the sidelines for a hairline. Get back in the game at We Grow Hair Indy. Schedule your free evaluation today at WeGrowHairIndy.com. That's WeGrowHairIndy.com or call 317-522-2995. That's 317-522-2995. Enjoy being out and about this fall. Enjoy watching the games in person with your friends with confidence you haven't had in years. And you can do it with a trip to We Grow Hair Indy. 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Tell them Rob sent you.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
The yes people are starting to run out of real estate on redistricting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've had 2 more Republican state senators come out and oppose redrawing Indiana's congressional districts.
So you've got Bassler and Kyle Walker, Eric Bassler and Kyle Walker are the 2 most recent ones to come out. They are no. That makes 3 going back to yesterday with Gene Leisig. So people are trying to do count on this. So it kind of reset everything that's going on here. I assume most people are aware. But it just, if you're not, a very cursory reminder. So Governor Braun, who will not do anything to help you with your property taxes, has called, well, it's no longer a special session. It's been going on so long, it has now bled into the upcoming session, which begins next week, technically with Org Day. And so first week of December, the lawmakers will be reconvening to discuss the idea of redrawing our congressional maps to give the Republicans 2 more seats in the U.S. House of Representatives. Now, these are the same maps that just a couple of years ago were the envy of the nation. They're so fair. They're so right. They're so spot on. We're very proud of them. Now, we didn't mean that. Let's just carve this up so we can get 2 more seats that we can't earn by governing. And the House of Representatives claims that they have the votes to pass this. There hasn't been much attention paid to them. Take them at their word. The Senate appears to be, based on the words of their own leadership, Rod Bray, who is the leader of the Indiana Senate, claims they are short. We do know all 10 Democrats are against. By my count, that is now, I believe, 9 Republicans who are against, and there are 13 Republicans who are for. They have to get to 25, assuming that the lieutenant governor will do as he often does, bend the knee to the governor and do whatever he wants. And so they had to cast the tie-breaking vote. So they have to get to 25 Republicans, which means if you have 19 no's, you have 13 yes. Of the 40 Republicans, 22 by my math, 9 plus 13, have said where they're at, which that would give you 18 people who are undecided. You can only lose 6 of them and still get this thing through on a tie-breaking vote by the lieutenant governor.
And Good won't decide until the day of.
He's going to be a no. There's no way, given the town hall he just went through, and all of his buddies are starting to come out. Those guys he hangs out with and considers associates are starting to come out as no's. But I mean, so basically, they've got to get 12. They've got to get 12 of the 18 either undecideds or unpublicly stated to vote with them, or it's going to fail. And if it fails, Braun's done. He might as well just, well, we don't want him to resign because who would take over, but Braun might as well just call it a career and just hang out in Du Bois County.
Right off in the sunset. So Bassler said he can't support any mid-census redistricting plan. He stands by the maps that were approved 4 years ago. He also has previously announced that he won't seek re-election in 26, ending his 12 years in the Senate. So for all the people who say, well, we're going to primary you unless you go along with this guy is already saying, I'm out anyway.
Yeah, he said, hey, that's great.
I'm calling it a day. And then Kyle Walker from Lawrence, he said that he has spent the past several months listening closely to his constituents, and with 93% opposed, if he's their voice in the Senate, he'll be voting no.
Yeah, look, this supposed group of people that are so for this has never publicly materialized. Not in town halls, not in emails, not in phone calls, nowhere. None of these Republicans who are for it have, here's this trove of emails or thousands of correspondence for it. You can produce public events in which people have been overwhelmingly against. So if indeed this large group of people exists that are for the redistricting, they have simply not revealed themselves in a public fashion, which would be very helpful to the cause they claim to be for, which when poll after poll after poll tells you something, which poll after poll after poll has said that people are against redistricting, and any public sort of event has produced overwhelmingly people against redistricting, and the side that's for it hasn't produced any sort of tangible evidence that all these people are for it, any undecided person is going to go, it kind of seems like people aren't for it.
The thing that really irritates me about all of this is you now have all these politicians having these listening sessions or paying attention to polling. Well, polling, I mean, even Kyle Walker said, 93% opposed. Okay, why aren't you listening to your constituents on matters that are important to them? For example, their utility bills and property taxes. You're like, I'm going to pay attention to what you say on redistricting, but this other stuff, we're going to do what we want.
Well, it comes back to these guys and girls, they're not in it for you. They're in it for themselves. And people see this on full display on this issue. They look around and go, hey, even if I'm the most ardent Republican in the world, there's a whole bunch of issues affecting our state that you guys could be addressing and putting this sort of effort into that would actually help me. And you're not doing that. Why aren't you as passionate about whether you said it's utility energy prices or property taxes or gas tax. Or what you could, there's a whole the IEDC reforms, whatever it might be. And I come back to when Andrew Ireland, state rep, was on your show and you asked him, hey, the session's going to be going on. You can bring up whatever you want. How about property taxes? And I think we have actual audio of Andrew Ireland.
Yeah.
Let's cue this up here. Ha! That wasn't actually Andrew Ireland, but that's basically what he did.
It sounded like, bah.
I mean, he scoffed at you. And people hear that and go, well, F you, dude.
Oh.
Because your desire to have the Republican Party be some more dominant thing doesn't help me pay my bills. So you don't care at all about me. If you were as passionate about that, you'd say, okay, but they're not proposing walking and chewing gum at the same time.
This were a team project and you were scratching my back. Yeah, maybe.
Right.
Okay, you're doing a good thing. I'll help you stay in power, but you're not.
Sure, and Andrew Ireland's the guy who voted for the budget, which raised taxes by $1 billion. It funds the IEDC, all of these other stuff. You're going, wait a second. Why would I be invested in your... I mean, we've got the President of the United States basically saying workers are lazy and stupid in this country. We got all these Chinese students that are going to be continuing to file in. We're going to have all these foreign workers coming in. And Jacob Stewart kind of alluded to this last hour, the columnist from the Indy Star. He said, some people are like, well, which is what I've been saying from the beginning, because how often does that happen, Casey? Sometimes it takes years for people to come over to our side, but they've recognized, what are we investing in? Why would we be willing to give into this if it's just going to be the president saying we're stupid and lazy and come on in here, Chinese students? Like, what are we fighting for?
Okay, so the Justice Department is suing California. That is to block their newly approved congressional district boundaries, which was passed by voters last week with their Proposition 50. The DOJ is now joining a lawsuit which has been filed by the California Republican Party.
Wait, the Republican Justice Department doesn't like Democrats rigging the map in their favor? Only when Republican states do it? Are they coming after Texas?
Not that I'm aware of.
Are they coming after North Carolina?
Not that I'm aware of. Not yet, anyway. I mean, that could be down the road.
Are they coming after Ohio?
No.
How about Missouri?
No.
No? Have they threatened to come after Indiana?
Yeah, not that I'm aware of.
So just California.
They may. You never know.
So they just don't like it when California responds to Texas. Which, by the way, all California is doing is washing Texas. That's it. 5 here, 5 there.
Right.
It was a pointless exercise on both sides. Everybody knew it was going to happen. It doesn't. Both sides are equally ridiculous, right?
They're accusing the state of racial gerrymandering meant to favor Hispanic voters.
Yeah. So basically what they're saying is that California, when they redistricted, they drew these districts up that will heavily favor Hispanic voters who they think will vote Democrat, which will help them. And they said, well, you did this along racial lines. You can't do this.
Yeah.
I do want to come back to what we were talking about just a second ago, because I posted this on Twitter at Rob M. Kendall if you want to see it or comment on it or whatever. You know, the guy who has a chance to be the real hero in all this, and this is the amazing thing about all of this, and that is the lieutenant governor. Because I think people are starting to come to the conclusion on this redistricting that the best we're going to do is 25.
And he's the tiebreaker.
And he'd be the tiebreaker, which means, and the reason he was elected, this is what's just so sad about all of this. He has totally become subservient to the governor, when he was elected to be, on all things, the pushback. So many people voted for Braun because they said, well, at the bare minimum, we're going to get a show because Lieutenant Governor will be there to fight him and fight for us when the $1 billion tax increase happens, or the property tax thing goes awry, or the IEDC audit comes out and Braun goes, there, let's move along. Like, they're not getting any of that. That's the irony in all of this is if Micah had done his job, he would be not only the most popular Republican in the state, he would be in a premium position to challenge Braun in a couple of years and become the governor of the state of Indiana because Braun has been so bad. And Micah has another opportunity here because as the potential tiebreaker. Now, he would have to preemptively say this because once the votes are cast, he doesn't have any leverage, and if it goes down, then he has no leverage. But, like, if I were him, and I actually gave a damn about the people, here is what I would preemptively say if I were Micah Beckwith. And he would get statewide headlines. He would become what he craves. He would be the talk of the town. Every camera would be in his face. He would say, I am preemptively saying that I will not vote to be the tie-breaking vote on redistricting unless the Indiana General Assembly agrees to repeal Senate Bill 1, which everyone hates on both sides of the aisle, and repass a property tax bill with meaningful property tax reform.
Yeah, if it comes to a tie, he does have power in his hand. He can say, I'm only voting yes if we help Hoosiers.
And he would be beloved by people for saying, damn, somebody's actually thinking of us for once. But he is totally beholden to Braun. You can decide why that is. Maybe some of that will come out as time goes on, but he is not in there fighting for us, and that's horrible because he has immense power in this right now because of the perception that this vote is going to be very close and his ability to potentially be the tie-breaking vote.
Coming up next, we're going to be joined by Tom Davies, reporter with the Indiana Capital Chronicle.
This is a fascinating story. So hundreds of thousands of people are now going to have their insurance, their taxpayer-funded insurance, we should point out, affected in the state of Indiana. The state has made a major choice, and now hundreds of thousands of people are scrambling to make a change. We'll talk about it next.
It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Holy cow! Another beautiful play for Indiana. A new coach, a new team, a new energy in Bloomington.
You're going to see a bunch of guys that are all about winning. They play incredibly hard.
Coach Darren DeVries is ready to write the next chapter in Hoosier basketball.
We love what I think the fans are going to be able to see in terms of how we approach every game.
IU basketball is back. Up next, Incarnate Word, Sunday at 5:30 on the home of the Hoosiers, 93 WIBC.
Trust Window Nation. They did such an awesome job replacing the windows in the front of my house. My old, drafty, cracked windows. Came in within a day, put in some new windows, left my house cleaner than before the install. Recently ranked highest on Forbes' list of best window installation companies. So you know you can trust Window Nation for high-quality, affordable windows.
They have an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. They have got over 45,000 five-star reviews, and they've came out to my house. I trust Window Nation. You can trust Window Nation. They are the best in the business, but you need to hurry. The sale ends soon. 50% off all window styles and 0 interest financing for 5 years. Schedule a fast and free estimate right now at windownation.com. windownation.com.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Do you remember what was happening in America? Families struggling, billions in wasteful spending. But Senator Todd Young fought back. He voted for working family tax cuts, and Senator Young voted to crack down on waste, fraud, and abuse, saving taxpayers billions. So call Senator Todd Young at 202-224-5623. and thank him for supporting the Working Families Tax Cut. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15. Go to DrexelIN.com for details.
This hour powered by Family Heating and Air, your American Standard Air dealer. Nobody cares for you like family.
Casey, there was a big announcement that came out that is going to affect how hundreds of thousands of people get their insurance in the state of Indiana.
Yeah, and I heard about that, and I'm really curious as to why this happened. So we need to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, we got a guy, just like with everything else. So the big story is that MD Wise, who is a major insurance provider for Medicaid, is no longer going to be a part of that system. As usual, our friends at the Indiana Capital Chronicle are all over this story. One of the best reporters in the business, Tom Davies, joins us now. Tom, hello.
Good morning.
So tell us all about, well, this seems like a massive story. I know it's getting some attention, but I don't think the attention that it really warrants, in which, one, obviously hundreds of thousands of people are going to be impacted, but MD Wise is a major player, and the state basically said, you're out.
Yeah, they announced this week that they're going to drop MD Wise from the Healthy Indiana Plan and the Hoosier Health Wise program as of January 1st. So about 300,000 people will have to change their health insurance companies.
Okay, so take us through. There are three other companies that provide insurance to Medicaid people. Can you kind of just take us through high level how Medicaid insurance actually works?
Well, everyone has they go through one of these providers, and there's three others that people in these programs. This just affects those two programs, the Healthy Indiana Plan and Hoosier Health Wise. Everyone that's now with MD Wise will either choose amongst three other companies that are still providers, Anthem, CareSource, and Managed Health Services, and they have until the end of December to either pick a new provider or the state will select one for them.
Why did they kick MD Wise off? Because that's a huge name that I think a lot of people know, and people are surprised that they're eliminating them from people on Medicaid being able to use them.
Well, the Braun administration and the legislature have been wrestling with high and ever-growing Medicaid costs for a long time, and they're expecting, the forecast from this last spring was to go up 9.5% this year and 7+% next year. So they've been trying to find ways to cut costs. And when FSSA announced this week the change, Mitch Robe said that they determined that MD Wise was, in his words, both the most expensive and the lowest in quality amongst the plans they offered.
Okay, so is there going to be a replacement?
Well, there's going to the three plans that are being offered rather than the four. So they say that no one currently on Medicaid will be kicked off, but they have to switch their insurance company.
Tom Davies from the Indiana Capital Chronicle is our guest. We're talking about this big story that came out. Again, it's getting some attention, but not nearly what I think it should, which is MD Wise out as a Medicaid provider. Hundreds of thousands of people will be impacted by this. So MD Wise is not happy. They're fighting back. What are they doing?
Well, they've already gone to court. They had gone to court last month before this was announced by FSSA. They're basically saying that the state hasn't followed proper procedures for terminating their contract. MD Wise has been providing Medicaid programs since the 1990s in Indiana. So they say that the FSSA ignored their proposals for changes, hasn't engaged with them in trying to come up with what they would say is a more orderly transfer, allowing them to try to sell their operations in Indiana. They say the FSSA has not cooperated with them at all. So they've gone to court over that. A Marion County judge a couple weeks ago denied their request for a restraining order to block what the state was planning to do. And now they're trying to appeal that to the state appeals court, but no action's been taken there yet.
Okay, so if the FSSA secretary said that MD Wise was the most expensive, any indication on cost savings since it's being dropped?
They haven't given any specifics on that yet. They just say they've looked at the various plans and determined MD-Wise was the most expensive. They told me this week that the state does anticipate some savings, but we don't have any figures on that would be just yet.
Tom, we'll get you out of here with this. Obviously, you touch on this in this story, the massive increase in costs to the Medicaid program. Are there more cuts coming, or will the state be able to absorb this long term?
That's something that is to be determined. There's still a lot of moving parts in the Medicaid program, and that's been one of the big things with, as I said, the Braun administration and the legislature and trying to bring it into better shape. And the one of the arguments from MD-Wise is that they're basically being scapegoated. Essentially, they say that they think the motivation by the state was the state's policies that, in their words, put Medicaid spending on an unsustainable path.
Find him over at IndianaCapitalChronicle.com. It's a great read. It's going to impact hundreds of thousands of people. Tom Davies, thank you.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, you're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. I'm here with Michaela to talk about water damage. Water damage at your home or business can come from heavy rains, broken or frozen pipes, and countless other ways. Michaela, if someone has a loss due to water, why should they call Michaelis?
Michaelis is a local, family-owned Indianapolis company with 39 years experience. We are manning the phones and ready to help 24/7, 365. Michaelis specializes in water damage restoration, is IICRC certified, and will restore your home or business to pre-loss condition or better.
I know a big part of getting back to normal is dealing with the insurance company. Can Michaelis help there?
Yes, Michaelis works through the entire process on your behalf to make it easy and give you peace of mind.
If you have water damage, call the Michaelis Corporation. Water, storms, fire, and mold, life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY. That's 844-FIXED-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to AdventKnows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
Picture this. Your career ends, your paycheck stops. Suddenly you're conducting your retirement with no sheet music. Don't let that happen. I'm Jason Hutchins, and after years of guiding Hoosier families through retirement planning, I put together some of the most important lessons into one simple, easy-to-read book, Orchestrate Your Retirement, a guide to composing a financially tuned plan. Get a copy mailed to you at no cost. Call 317-660-0929. That's 317-660-0929. This book is packed with real-world stories and strategies on income, Social Security, taxes, and how to protect what you've worked so hard to build. Call Guardian Wells Financial at 317-660-0929. That's 660-0929 and ask for your copy. No pressure, no strings attached. Supplies are limited, so when they're gone, they're gone. Orchestrate your retirement. The rhythm of your future starts here.
Investment advisory services offered through Creative One Wealth LLC, a registered investment advisor. Guardian Wells Financial is not affiliated with Creative One Wealth or with any government agency. Licensed insurance professionals.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money line, spread, totals, player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Indiana. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Guy Relford here.
Time again for the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show this coming weekend at the State Fairgrounds, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's never been a more important time to exercise our rights as true Americans. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See the best in sporting, hunting, and personal protection gear, plus great displays of Americana. Come see us this weekend at the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show, Friday 2 to 7, Saturday 9 to 6, and Sunday 9 to 4. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See you there.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They're looking at insider trading. Partly cloudy sky, 55 in the Circle City. Today's high at 66. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending now at 10:30. Congress will once again discuss if members should be banned from trading stocks while in office.
The House Administration Committee will hold a hearing next week looking at congressional stock trading. It comes as several bills are being considered that would ban members of Congress from trading stocks while in office. The New York Post reports former Speaker Nancy Pelosi and her husband made roughly $130 million in stocks during her time in Congress. Some have argued members of Congress should have the freedom to make money as they wish, and that lawmaker pay has remained stagnant while the cost of living has only risen.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz reporting. Meanwhile, the Trump administration reaching a trade deal with Switzerland. As part of the deal, the country will commit to send manufacturing to the U.S. and bring down its U.S. trade surplus in the future. U.S. Trade Representative Jamison Greer.
What we've done is we've identified the areas and the reasons why we have a big deficit with them in goods, and it really boils down to things like pharmaceuticals, gold, right, trade in gold, and a handful of other things.
Greer says a new $200 billion investment into the U.S. by Switzerland will focus on these areas. 14 people are busted in New Jersey in connection to a sports betting ring that law enforcement says has ties to the mafia and includes college students. The arrests follow those of several NBA and MLB players and coaches for their alleged connection to illegal gambling operations. And Walmart is about to have a new CEO. Doug McMillon is planning to step down at the end of January. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
The biggest Black Friday sale ever is going on now at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Save up to $800 on top brand mattresses from Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Sealy. Indiana-made Smith Brothers of Bern is holding their factory-authorized sale with the lowest price in 2025 and 50% off all Flex Deal and Lazy Boy. Free delivery, cash discounts, interest-free financing. Hurry, sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Hey guys, it's Friday. That means Sunday's right around the corner. This Sunday, if you're looking for a new church home or first church home, check out Life Church. They've got campuses all across central Indiana: Noblesville, Fishers, Eagle Creek, Pendleton, plus great online services. Life Church would love the opportunity to meet and welcome you and your family. So again, if you've been looking for a new church home or a first church home, check out Life Church. Noblesville, Fishers, Eagle Creek, and Pendleton, plus great online services. Learn more about everything on the web, lifechurchin.com.
Woke radical liberals are screwing up this country, but Senator Jim Banks is fighting back. He backed one big, beautiful tax cut for working families, ending Social Security taxes for nearly all seniors, and taxes on tips and overtime gone. So call Senator Jim Banks at 202-224-4814 and thank him for backing working family tax cuts and putting America first. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
For your free system replacement analysis, give Family a call today at 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov or text Tony Katz to 46220 today.
So, what was it? Axios has this article about, I don't know, maybe it's the reemergence of the political dynasties in this country.
Yeah, they say the political dynasties are going to be crowding America's next election. The 26 and 28 ballots are crowded with political heirs and relatives seeking office. Now, political dynasties, of course, have a long-standing history in the United States. You had Presidents John Adams and John Quincy Adams. You also had George H. Bush and George W. Bush, William Henry Harrison and his grandson, Benjamin Harrison, both serving as president. And you've got some modern examples of political families: the Cuomos, the Cheneys, the Clintons, clearly the Kennedys, the Pelosis, and the Shaheens. But now there's this other long list, and one of them here in Indiana, Bo Bai.
Well, yeah, it's interesting because you're right. For generations, there always seemed to be one. I think the most prevalent in this country would be the Kennedys had it for decades, and then the Bushes kind of took that mantle from them. To some extent, the Clintons did, in the sense that it wasn't generational, but he was the president, and then she was the senator and the candidate for president, the secretary of state, and
now there's talk that Chelsea's going to run for something,
and it's kind of gone away. We've seen this sort of the end of the Bushes. We've seen to some, although there's another Kennedy running for something now. The grandson of one of these people is
Jack Schlossberg.
Yeah, is coming back, but not in the sense of hey, these people are everywhere and they're controlling everything. We've sort of seen Americans kind of reject that, and you're right. Here in Indiana, you do see the at least attempt to reemerge one of those dynasties. The Bais, of course. Birch Bai was the longtime senator, U.S. senator, defeated by Dan Quayle. It's part of the Reagan Revolution. Evan Bai, Secretary of State, governor, then senator, and now his son, Bo Bai, is running for Secretary of State. Boy, howdy, can that kid raise money?
Yes.
Holy smokes.
What did I see? He just got something from the education pack, one.
I mean, he is like... And it's so weird because most of the donations seem to be $10,000 or above. And I joke every time because Steven over at Indy Reporter will post those donations up, and I'll always respond with, well, my grandma gave me $50 for my birthday every year.
Right.
What is going on here?
It's a little different.
But it's like laughable that the Republicans are going at Bai for the dynasty or whatever when you've got your Secretary of State who disappears to the Republican, Diego Morales, who disappears to foreign countries for 10 days and won't say who paid for it. At least with Bo Bai, somebody's got to put their name on it.
Right.
Here's your money. Here's the name. Now we know. I'll take that every day over some guy disappearing to a foreign country for 10 days, won't say who paid for it. Oh, and it's Broski, who had a state contract for 80 large, is bragging about how he's selling Visa access on the internet. So, yeah. But you're right. It is like sort of a thing I thought we were past, but what you're kind of saying is
nope, there's more. Let me share some of the other ones that are happening across the country. Miley Biggs, who is the daughter, she is the daughter of
Miley.
Representative Andy Biggs.
Oh.
She's running for her father's former Arizona state seat. You've got Jerry Demings, who is the husband of a former rep who is entering Florida's governor's race. Jesse Jackson Jr.
Is he still going?
Yeah.
Didn't he? That was
launching a comeback kid seat in Illinois.
What comeback is this for him? I mean, they're so old. I mean, by the way, Jesse Jackson is apparently not doing very well.
Correct.
Yeah, I think what these people figure out is the hot tub is nice. And they see how well some family member did, and they go, well, same name, worked for them. What's the worst that can happen? I don't win. And then they get in there, and it is amazing the amount of people who go in regular and end up very wealthy in politics. I will just say that.
Just
that is
put
a
that out
very
there.
interesting thing.
Well, but you're right. You thought maybe we were moving away from these dynasty political families, but it's still pretty embedded in the U.S. system.
One of the things that I think Bo Bai is really going to struggle with is making enough inroads when it comes to authenticity. Now, which that's funny because Diego Morales is a total fraudster and a grifter, but the onus is on Bo Bai to have to do that because Indiana's such a Republican state. Most people know what Diego is, but they're so afraid of the Democrats that they'll default to, well, we'll take this sleaze bucket because he's our sleaze bucket, right? And so I think one of the areas Bo Bai is going to have to get better at, we kind of joked about those videos, which he's really, he hasn't stopped them, but he's gotten better at them. He's wearing some different team shirt every time, and hey, it's Bo.
He was wearing a jacket the other day.
Hey, Bo here.
Looking a little more professional.
Just got off my yacht, heard the government was shut down. Farmers. I went by a farm one time. I mean, he's going to struggle with that because, first of all, he's very young. I mean, people lose sight of the fact that the guy just turned 30 years old. And I don't care who your old man is or who your grandfather was. If you've never done this before,
there's a learning curve.
It is. It's tough sledding, right? It's tough to figure out how to do this. He's going to have to find a way to connect with regular people that know what Diego is, but are very afraid to vote for Democrats because it's a party run by insane people.
Well, Bo's gonna have to go up to Northwest Indiana and Northeast Indiana because that's where Diego is very popular.
Yeah, people who don't know.
Elkhart County, for sure.
Yeah.
Because as we've seen from the polling, majority of the state doesn't know who Diego Morales is.
But the one thing Bo Bai is going to have going for him, and this is where the dynasty thing kind of helps you, is
the ability to make money, raise money.
Well, Freudian slip.
Well, that's one thing, right? Make and raise it and then make it.
Yeah, I mean, these people are not giving all this money to him because of his good looks and charming personality. They're giving it to him because his father is Evan Bai. His grandfather was Birch Bai. They've been incredibly successful in this state. His father is still a very influential person as it relates to politics and government in this nation. Mm-hmm. And it just shows you how much money out there people have that they don't care about, right? I mean, it's worth a flyer to a lot of these people probably. It's because of the connections with this old man, and so it's going to... Now, there are people who subscribe to the theory, and this is what is interesting to me, that he may not even be the Democrat nominee because there's this woman running against him who is way more in touch with the base of the Democrat Party than Bo, who's going to run as this middle ground kind of guy. And while any person with an IQ over 7 would look at that and go, hey, we finally might have a chance to win an office. Hey, maybe it's not totally what we want, but it's better than 0, which is all we've had for the past decade, basically, in this state. Let's give this kid a shot and see how his money can operate. There's a bunch of people who think at that convention he's going to have a hard time getting the votes because the Democrats are so wed to crazy that they'll reject him.
Right. Well, and he can save all that money and use it for his next run.
Well, it may not be another one because, his old man ran into this too. All right, Hammer's fired up. We're going to do a little extended segment with Hammer. He is fired up because, Jacob Stewart came on with this columnist from Indy Star last hour, was talking about the pitfalls
casino
of the downtown casino. And Hammer, he worked for years in the casino industry. He has thoughts.
Oh, good. He's going to join us next on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel's show this afternoon. It's Beer Sample Friday, the biggest stories in Indy. And did I mention it's Beer Sample Friday, baby? Let's go!
Transform your home with Galaxy Concrete Coatings. You can say goodbye to cracked, stained, and dirty old floors and hello to durable, stunning surfaces that last. Their cutting-edge technology ensures a beautiful finish every time, and you get to pick out the color. Upgrade your home today by calling Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They're for garage floors, driveways, pool decks, and patios. And they come with a lifetime warranty and one-day professional installation. The phone number, 877-417-0635. You can find them online, too. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com.
Picture this. Your career ends, your paycheck stops. Suddenly you're conducting your retirement with no sheet music. Don't let that happen. I'm Jason Hutchins, and after years of guiding Hoosier families through retirement planning, I put together some of the most important lessons into one simple, easy-to-read book, Orchestrate Your Retirement, a guide to composing a financially tuned plan. Get a copy mailed to you at no cost. Call 317-660-0929. That's 317-660-0929. This book is packed with real-world stories and strategies on income, Social Security, taxes, and how to protect what you've worked so hard to build. Call Guardian Wells Financial at 317-660-0929. That's 660-0929 and ask for your copy. No pressure, no strings attached. Supplies are limited, so when they're gone, they're gone. Orchestrate your retirement. The rhythm of your future starts here.
Investment advisory services offered through Creative One Wealth LLC, a registered investment advisor. Guardian Wells Financial is not affiliated with Creative One Wealth or with any government agency. Licensed insurance professionals.
Hey guys, it's Rob from Mark Deedle. He wants you to know that the Indianapolis real estate market is strong, but it's not easy. Now is a good time to sell, only if you hire a real estate team that knows how to aggressively market your home like Mark Deedle Realty. Perhaps you're worried with a challenging market, you won't sell your home for the price it's worth. Mark Deedle, he guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Neil in Indianapolis had to say about working with Mark Deedle. I had already moved and listed my old home with an agent friend for 60 days. Not happy, I decided to evaluate the Mark Deedle marketing plan, and I switched. To my relief, after about 15 days on the market, the Mark Deedle team sold my home as is for the price I needed. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Deedle 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdeedle.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L.com.
Barack Obama is back and pushing Democrat-run states like California to rig the midterm elections and put more leftists in Congress. Joe Biden already counted illegals in the 2020 census, but they still want more.
We've watched the Democrats destroy our country.
Now, President Trump is fighting back, and it's time for Indiana to join that fight. Indiana legislators will have a chance to stand with President Trump, level the playing field, and pass fair maps when they convene for a special session on December 1st. Trump's agenda to save America hangs in the balance, and now more than ever, we need leaders with the stomach for a fight. Senator Jim Buck is refusing to tell Hoosiers if he stands with President Trump or Barack Obama and Gavin Newsom. Call Senator Jim Buck today and tell him our country can't afford for him to sit this fight out. It's time for him to stand with President Trump and pass fair maps now. Paid for by Building a Better Economy.
Right now at Tom Roush Lincoln, get a 2025 Lincoln Corsair for $4,000 off plus 0% APR. 2025 Lincoln Aviator from $5,000 off plus 0%. Or 2025 Lincoln Nautilus for $4,500 off, also 0% APR. So come get that new Lincoln at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fisher.
Corsair MSRP 51,720. Aviator MSRP 72,225. Nautilus MSRP 71,60. 0% APR for 48 months on qualifying Lincolns. Good through 12/1/2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
An official message from Medicare.
Couple more minutes, and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year, I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you.
And you gotta make sure your drugs are covered. That's important.
So is saving money.
Review all your options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
WIBC cares, and if you or someone you care about needs food assistance, we have resources for you, including food distribution locations with an interactive map. Also, learn how you can make a difference for friends and neighbors in need, all at WIBC.com.
So earlier today, we were talking with Indy Star columnist Jacob Stewart about the proposal to put a casino in downtown Indianapolis. He said for a variety of reasons, which you can go back and listen to on the podcast. It's a horrible idea. It's Kendall Casey show, by the way. I'm Rob. That's Casey. Jason Hammer, one half of the Hammer and Nigel show, joins us now. You're a great person to have this convo with because you spent years in the casino industry.
Yes, working in the marketing department of the closest casino to Indianapolis down in Shelbyville. It's gone through a couple different ownership changes since then, but for sure. Now, he's right about a couple things. And again, if you missed this conversation, I'm sure Kevin's going to post this on your podcast page. Go back and listen to it, because Jacob is right about a couple of things. The gaming lobby, every other casino in the state does not want a casino in Indy because they feel like it's going to hamper their bottom line.
Sure, it'll draw people away from those locations.
Because there's a lot of degenerates like myself in Indy that like action, right? And the closest ones to Indy right now are Shelbyville and Anderson, both owned by Caesars. They will throw a fit because when those casinos first opened up, they're called racinos because they have racetracks attached to them as well. They were taxed more than any other casino in the state of Indiana because of the proximity to Indianapolis. All the river boats were whining and complaining, and all the places in northwest Indiana whining and complaining that all the Indy money would just go here and not anywhere else. Now, I don't know if it's still this way, but when I was there, 10, 15 years ago, it was every dollar that got put into a slot machine, half went to the state of Indiana.
Wow.
Now, I think they have lowered that since then, but that was like the new tax on being the closest one to Indy. So for people saying, I can't believe these casinos are losing money, it's not that they were losing money. They were getting the tax bejesus out of them.
Yeah.
And also, when these lawmakers gave licenses to these racinos, they were under the impression it was going to be packed to the gills, like New York City, Times Square, New Year's Eve, 365 days a year. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Anderson or Shelbyville, but on a Wednesday night at about 1 in the morning, it doesn't look like Times Square New Year's Eve.
Remember, we even went that one year a couple years ago for the start of the NCAA tournament, and we thought, man, this place is going to be packed to the gills, right? And it wasn't. I mean, there were people there, but it was like, man, I kind of thought there'd be more people here.
Yeah, it's also a matter of having your dollar be stretched. And a question that Jacob asked you guys was, why aren't people going to the casinos anymore? Like when I worked in the marketing department in Shelbyville, our goal was to make sure everybody had fun. We tried to make it feel like a party. We did game shows every Friday and Saturday out on the floor. You know, I was on the mic. My friend CJ Miller, who used to work here, was on the mic. Our pal Matt Wharton, Drunk Matt, was the hype guy. And man, we had dance-offs. We had people. We hyped it up. Every 5 minutes, we're teasing the big giveaway. Now when you walk into a lot of these places, it's just so cookie cutter. It's just blah.
Is that because of budget cuts? Like they just don't have as much to work with as they once did?
Well, that's a little bit of it. But here's the thing. We got in trouble for making it too fun because we drove attention to the big center bar where we're doing the giveaways. We're giving away a car. We're
versus
giving away
the
a trip.
tables or the slots.
And if people are standing around watching and having fun thinking they're going to win, they're not pumping
gambling.
that one-arm bandit.
So somebody came to you and was like, "You're too good at your job. You're making people have too much fun."
Right, because we would drive attention to the Players Club. Get your Players card. You can't win without a card. The giveaway is coming up in 1 hour. And I was the DJ on the floor, so I'm playing the countdown music, and we're hyping everybody up. We're doing sing-alongs. But I got yelled at for that by the management team at the time because people were too engaged. You know, we had too much fun going in there. So that's the kind of battle that some of these places are fighting too.
Now, his theory is it will hurt poor people having a casino in downtown Indianapolis. Jacob Stewart of the Indy Star.
Oh, that's a load of crap.
No, that's he's wrong.
Said it would prey on low-income residents.
You know what? Load of crap. And I'm sure there's a report that says that. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. If this place could make money, they don't care if it's coming from crackheads who are pedophiles. It doesn't matter. That's such a load of crap. And people will talk about it. And I'm sure Buffalo did a report that says all this stuff. Nobody cares. It comes down to, is it going to be financially a hit or not? And that's where I have questions. Because nobody would love this probably more than I do. But I'm thinking, I'm probably the exception more than the rule. Like, I would get off work and then walk over there, play blackjack for a couple of hours, and go home.
And by the way, can I just say this real quick? Your wife was on the other day, the Crazy Coupon Lady. And it's gotten progressively worse since your kids have gotten older, and I love it. The amount of crap you guys give each other. I love that you have been married this long, and you don't want to be around each other. I love that.
That's what keeps this marriage together, Rob. Keeps it together.
A little distance.
I was just rolling. I love when she's on because she hates you so much. And the fact that she just is willing to tell the world what a horrible, rotten person you are. And it's gotten worse now that you don't have to fake it for the kids anymore.
But the fact that she's still around tells you how good I am in the sack.
Oh, no.
Anyway, go back to the downtown casino for a second, though. I think the money would be, to use a gambling term, a push. So if somebody's in town for a convention, let's say it's the firefighters or whoever, in the past they would go to an Indians game or a Fever or Pacers game, whatever, and go out to dinner. They'd spend money downtown. Now they might go to the casino and do the same thing. It's the same money. It's just going in different directions.
So you don't think that this will be some destination where dollars would be rolling in that we wouldn't already be getting?
I think the casino would do really well. I think it would hurt other restaurants and things downtown. Like, I don't know how big it would hurt, but I know if I'm going to a convention, and again, I'm the exception.
It's right next to a casino or walkable.
Yeah, I'm going there as opposed to going to find something else to do.
I'm with you.
How are they going to sell this, though? Because you touched on this earlier. I remember having a conversation, this has been 10 plus years ago now, with a gaming lobbyist. And I was saying, man, wouldn't it be great if we had a casino on a rooftop of a major building in downtown? No, you don't want that at all. People will hate you if you say that. I was like, well, it'd be great. How if the gaming lobby is so against this? Because for years the gaming lobby,
they're going to look out for all the other properties.
That's what I'm saying. The gaming lobby and the liquor lobby were the two most powerful lobbies in the state. And the gaming lobby's been hurt because of some bad, PR and headlines and everything else.
Oh, some of those dudes are just crooked.
Yeah, well, but how are they going to get this through if the gaming lobby is so against it?
They're going to have to prove that it's going to be such a financial success, and this is where your elected officials are going to have to use that bully pulpit to say, listen, we need this, make it happen, find a way. And then don't be surprised that there's some sort of tax break for the other casino properties around the state of Indiana, too.
Would they be able to survive if they get it? Or are they done?
Shelbyville and Anderson would be in trouble. Now, they do have a horse racing track, but
How many people go to the horse racing track? I'm asking. I'm not trying to be facetious. Is it filled?
Well, they're saying this report's saying that it could cause $10 to $17 million in loss for the horse racing business if there's a casino
it's a lot of
downtown
expenses
Indy.
that go into it, and they do stream it from things around the country. So now you can live in another state, get on the app or whatever, and make bets. I think on what's happening in Indy. Our pal Racing Rachel's the host of it all.
Yeah, and our boy Kenny Britt from the Generous Next Door Sports Betting Podcast. I mean, he'll still be there, but would anybody else still be there?
Right, but if they open a casino in downtown Indy,
it would pull from Shelbyville and Anderson.
Absolutely, because their whole marketing is they're closest to Indy.
Well, right, but I don't think the other casinos around the state would be as affected. They're saying it would pull nearly $140 million from other casinos.
And by the way, Terre Haute, why are you not advertising with me? Shelbyville, Anderson. There's no bigger champion of what you guys are doing than I am. Why are you not partnered with me, of all people? I got access to the governor twice a month, and you don't want to partner with me?
When you were doing the marketing for the casino, how many crock pots did you give away?
Oh, man. Depends on what your Players Club number was. Depends on how many points you earned.
Is it worth it to sign up for the Players Club?
I think it is. Now, you're going to get some emails. That's how we get you back in.
Right.
But you're also going to get some free play, too.
Okay.
It was my job to put out the email blast.
Do you notice the enthusiasm in his voice once anything gambling comes up? I mean, he's like a kid on Christmas. You're way more enthusiastic about you. I bet you would have loved to have stayed in the gambling industry forever.
Yeah, it was great until Obamacare came along, and people who were there for a long time had to be replaced by people who were, in the country illegally.
I can't tell you how disappointed I am to learn, though, that 50 cents to every dollar goes to the state.
So that's what it was. I don't know if it's still that way, but when we were there, that's why they were you've got to stop being entertaining. People have to pay these slot machines.
Oh, what's coming up this afternoon?
Brace yourselves.
Yeah.
Nigel's off today.
What?
I know. Guy Relford, the gun guy's in. We'll have some arguments. Rick Snyder, FOP president, and Beer Sample Friday.
Thanks, Hammer. You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It is 93 WIBC.
Hi, I'm Dylan, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a customer service specialist, I love helping couples find their dream engagement ring. And guess what? I just got engaged, so it was fun to create one myself. First, my fiance tried on a bunch of ring styles and she was drawn to a classic diamond pave setting. Then we looked at different diamond shapes from pear to oval to cushion. She fell in love with the princess cut. At Shane Company, you can create a one-of-a-kind ring and get it in days, not weeks. Because a friend wants you to have a magical holiday proposal. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577.
Service today?
Today.
Sundown Gardens Big Fall Sale is now at maximum savings. Come shop the nursery to save now on adding trees and shrubs to your landscape. Whether you're adding shade, color, or curb appeal, fall planting helps trees and shrubs root in for the winter, and they'll thrive next spring. The best part? All nursery items at Sundown are now 50% off. That's half off container trees and shrubs. Shop now and save at Sundown Gardens, located on the corner of 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield, sundown.gardens.com.
It's that time of year again when the leaves turn, the days get shorter, and you hear a lot about Medicare open enrollment. If you're feeling overwhelmed by all the options, you're not alone. Original Medicare, Advantage plans, Part D, Medigap, it's a lot to sort through. And making the wrong choice can cost you more than just your financial confidence. That's where Howard Bailey Financial comes in. At Howard Bailey, we don't just help you pick a Medicare plan. We help you make a more confident choice with your full financial picture in mind. Our team has licensed Medicare professionals backed by experienced financial advisors, all working together to help you retire with purpose. Get started by texting CARE to 888-494-5004 to speak with the Howard Bailey team and start your Medicare conversation today. At Howard Bailey Financial, we make Medicare simple so you can focus on enjoying the season, not stressing about it. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. See disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15. Go to drexelin.com for details.
In 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, who the state of Indiana is cutting ties with over healthcare coverage. What Lawrence Township teachers will be getting soon, the actions Gleaners Food Bank is taking to help those needing food assistance, and how will the weather be looking heading into this weekend. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. Time for Fox News. It's 11 o'clock.
They're still trying to make a criminal case against President Trump. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. A new prosecutor taking over in Georgia in the 2020 election interference case after DA Fani Willis was disqualified.
Georgia law said the prosecuting attorney's counsel had to try to find someone else to lead the case. Now, that organization's director, Pete Skandalakis, says he'll do it. President Trump likely wouldn't be prosecuted while in office, but other co-defendants include Rudy Giuliani, former Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, and attorney John Eastman. They're accused of violating racketeering laws in an effort to commit election fraud by making false statements, committing forgery, fraud, and impersonating a public officer.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Just the other day, the president preemptively pardoned Giuliani, Meadows, and Eastman, but that would apply to federal, not state prosecution. There are more than 600 flights canceled again today. The FAA is yet to lift schedule reductions put in place during the government shutdown. The hundreds of delays today not related to the air traffic controllers. They're mostly all back at work with sick outs ending. They'll get most of their back pay by tonight. A Biden-era regulation that wasn't yet in effect for the airport won't be. The Trump administration scrapping the plan
to require airlines to pay passengers cash compensation for U.S. flight disruptions caused by carriers, $200 for flight cancellations or significant delays due to mechanical problems or computer outages, and up to $775 for delays of 9 hours or more. The Department of Transportation saying the rules would result in unnecessary regulatory burdens.
Fox's Lillian Wu. After all the tariffs President Trump's trying to keep in place amid a legal challenge, Fox's Alexandria Hoff reports from the White House some are being lifted.
Tariffs on certain imports out of El Salvador, Argentina, Ecuador, and Guatemala as part of framework agreements aimed to lower the prices of goods, including bananas, coffee, and cocoa. The expectation is that retailers will pass on the cost savings to consumers.
On Wall Street, a second straight big sell-off for the Dow. It's down 321 points. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Over 300,000. It's 57 and sunny in the Circle City. Today's high at 66. Partly cloudy skies at times. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 11:02. The state of Indiana cutting ties with one of its longtime Medicaid providers, MDWise. Starting January 1st, they will no longer be part of Medicaid plans. This will impact more than 300,000 Hoosiers who rely on it for coverage. The company calling the move unfair and a violation of the contract they signed with the state just last year. While educators in Hamilton County are demanding higher pay, teachers with the Lawrence Township School District are getting a raise. John Herrick reports.
Those teachers are getting a 2% salary increase under the new 2025-26 collective bargaining agreement that was approved at a Friday board meeting. Here's what a happy board member had to say.
I'm so glad that we were able to work to give our teachers raises that they deserve this year. 2% is more than most of our bordering districts have been able to muster.
The agreement also includes a 9.5% increase to both parties' current health insurance premiums and a 0.6% increase to the teacher retirement fund contribution rate, and that is consistent with state requirements. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Even with the government reopening, Gleaners Food Bank is intensifying its efforts in supporting Hoosiers needing food assistance. CEO Fred Glass said the charitable food system must continue to cover the lingering effects of the shutdown. Gleaners is significantly extending staff shifts and is planning a second special food distribution for Army National Guard members who went unpaid. It's classic fall with some cooler temperatures this week, but the jet stream still isn't giving us any steady rain.
Some of that drought has been alleviated for portions in southern Indiana, but a good chunk of the state does still have drought conditions, including even D3, which the drought monitor goes up to D4.
Casey Fuson at the National Weather Service says your next best chance for rain comes Monday into Tuesday. The second-ranked Purdue Boilermakers earning a tough win on the road last night as they beat number 8 Alabama 87-80. Guard Braden Smith led the way with 29 points. The Boilers will return home to face Akron on Sunday. As for the state's college football teams playing tomorrow, Purdue is at Washington. Ball State hosts Eastern Michigan. 9th-ranked Notre Dame plays at number 22 Pittsburgh. And second-ranked Indiana welcomes in Wisconsin. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Okay, these comments from Megyn Kelly on Epstein were kind of weird, right?
Yeah, definitely. Kind of weird. She's getting a lot of backlash for it. Kind of gross.
And now people are, the internet's a cesspool of awful, right? So Megyn, by the way, it's Kendall Casey show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. So Megyn Kelly, she was on Fox News for years. She signed that deal with NBC. It was a disaster. They ended up, I think, buying out her contract base or paying her not to work or whatever. And then she ended up, now I guess she has a podcast that she does. And at one point, she was sort of the new it thing in certainly political talk media. I think it didn't transition to mainstream media. Obviously, the NBC thing, she was just in the wrong place. But she's always been sort of like a reliable, conservative-leaning voice.
Her studios are in the Heritage Foundation.
She famously, my favorite Megyn Kelly, I gotta be careful how I say this. My favorite Megyn Kelly story, first of all, at one point her name was Megyn Kendall, and then it quickly changed to Megyn Kelly. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. She had a feud with Trump. Do you remember this? So she has this
in the debates.
Yes. So when Trump ran for president the first time, this has been 2015. She has this feud with Trump. She's picked. I think Brett Baer was the other person. She's the moderator, and she's going at him, and they're having this really contested back and forth. And you know how Trump is. And then after the debate, and it's amazing the stuff Trump's been allowed to get away with in his life. He said something like, I'm not quoting this directly. I'm like paraphrasing this. He goes something like, she was totally out of control or unprofessional or whatever. I don't know what's going on. She was bleeding badly from her eye or whatever.
Yes.
Anybody else other than Trump, they would have been totally done. And it just everybody was just like, oh, I see what he's trying to do there. That's pretty funny because it's Trump. But anyway, she's got this podcast now, and it's a pretty popular.
Yeah, it's on Sirius XM
thing, and we have the audio of this. She's talking about Jeffrey Epstein, and of course, and assume 99% of the people knows, but just in case you know, Jeffrey Epstein is this one of the most infamous human sex traffickers probably in the history of the world. Obviously committed suicide, never got the justice that he deserved, nor did the victims, his victims. And he was trafficking young girls. Now, I don't think anybody's ever alleged that Epstein was trafficking 5-year-old girls. I think it's pretty well known. These were teenagers, or in some cases girls in their early 20s, but many of these girls were underage that he's alleged to have trafficked. And Megyn Kelly said this.
As for Epstein, I've said this before, but just as a reminder, I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is in a position to know virtually everything. Not everything, but virtually everything. And this person has told me from the start, years and years ago, that Jeffrey Epstein, in this person's view, was not a pedophile. This is this person's view, who was there for a lot of this, but that he was into the barely legal type. Like he liked 15-year-old girls. And I realize this is disgusting. I'm definitely not trying to make an excuse for this. I'm just giving you facts. That he wasn't into like 8-year-olds. but he liked the very young teen types that could pass for even younger than they were, but would look legal to a passerby. And that is what I believed, and that was what I reliably was told for many years. And it wasn't until we heard from Pam Bondi that they had tens of thousands of videos of alleged, forgive me, they used to call it kiddie porn, now they call it child sexual abuse material, on his computer, that for the first time I thought, oh, no, he was an actual pedophile. I mean, only a pedophile gets off on young children abuse videos. She's never clarified it. I don't know whether it's true. I have to be honest. I don't really trust Pam Bondi's word on the Epstein matters anymore. Yeah, so...
Okay, all right. She just goes on like this whole thing is very weird because, yes, by the letter... So this is the Webster... If you have a young child, I'm not going to say anything that's inappropriate to radio, but if you have young children, you may want to do the earmuffs for a few seconds. But I think we have to say this relevant to the conversation we're having. And I'm not going to say any words that are banned by the federal government, but just, use discretion if you have a young child in your radio. So pedophilia, which is the spinoff, obviously, a pedophile, right?
Correct.
According to Webster's, the Merriam-Webster's dictionary, is a psychiatric disorder in which an adult has sexual fantasy about or engaged in sexual acts with a prepubescent child. Okay, I think most people know that, but I think they're saying it in the broader sense, right? Like when people talk about being a pedophile, it's sort of become this thing, like whether it meets the letter of the law definition of someone who's underage. I think it's sort of like just an accepted term that most people don't dig down that close. And the fact that she is so into trying to make that distinction here is very odd.
She's a lawyer. So is she trying to determine the difference between pedophile and predator? Because that's pre-puberty, post-puberty.
Yeah, and
it doesn't matter. It's gross either way. She did say, I'm not trying to defend what she said, but she did say, in this person's view, multiple times, she said, in this person's view. And she did go on, she said, it's disgusting. I'm not trying to make an excuse. But then she did argue for an excuse.
Well, so this is I'm a huge fan of the Chris Hansen and To Catch a Predator stuff, and they've, he's talked about that before of, hey, they call these guys pedophiles. Technically, they're not. That's there's an age associated with that, et cetera, right? But this is coming on the heels of Trump's alleged association with Epstein, in which it appears to be clear that they were somehow in each other's orbit. Now, I don't think anybody has ever accused, no normal person has ever accused Trump of engaging in any sort of, let me rephrase that. No normal person has ever produced any evidence that Trump engaged in any sort of illegal behavior with underage girls. I think what is coming out in these emails, et cetera, is that Trump was around Epstein or more connected to Epstein than he let on.
It contradicts a lot of his claims.
But in the business sense, and I say this with Trump all the time, this guy was doing business in New York. He was with the mob and everybody else. He was around horrible, rotten people all the time. That was his orbit. And I do think in terms of if we're going to put Trump where he fit in that orbit, I think he was way above most of those people, but it was just doing business, right? Epstein to him was just some other weirdo that has crossed my path, probably knew some of those pretty off about the guy. In hindsight, probably should have done a lot more in terms of phoning it in or telling somebody else. But it does look very bad that now she's coming out saying this right as all these emails, et cetera, are starting to come out about just how connected Trump might have been to Epstein.
She said, I know somebody very close to this case. I'm curious as to who she's talking about. Who does she know who is telling her this?
Well, but I don't think it's anything we didn't know. I think or the average person didn't assume that Epstein, these girls were of a certain age. They weren't 5 years old. They were teenagers, early 20s, much in the mold of that young woman who, well, not young woman anymore, but the girl who committed suicide. Like her story sort of seems like par for the course of a lot of these girls. Some may have been a little older, some may have been a little younger, but there's this window, right, of these girls. And for her to try to get all wordsmith Sally about it. The message isn't whether this girl was 11 or 5 or 15. The fact is, they're
all gross.
They're underage girls.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Like I don't think when, on these, Chris Hansen type investigations, they oftentimes pretend to be 15 years old when they work with law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
You get the picture of what's going on here. If we're going to start splitting hairs on whether one's worse than the other, that you're trying to go meet a 14-year-old girl versus a 6-year-old girl, when you're a 30-year-old man, I think she's losing that argument, and she looks really bad in the process.
I think the one thing that is very clear is that there were a lot of people, a lot of powerful people who knew what was going on, and nobody did anything about it.
Sure, and isn't that weird that she would get hung up on that? Now, maybe you're right. Maybe it's because she's a lawyer and she's just doing some legal speak, but she's a broadcaster first. She's an entertainer first. She's not out, that I'm aware of, actively trying cases in the courtroom anymore.
Right.
She makes her living doing this. So it's just very strange to me that was where she went, and that was what she was trying to almost like lecture people. He's not an actual pedophile. Sure, he might have been doing illegal activity, but he's not an actual pedophile. Oh, okay, I guess.
Maybe to the letter of the law,
Yeah.
but it's still...
Okay, but that's just me that looked at that was very strange.
No, a lot of people thought that was very strange. In fact, I don't know if she'll recover from this.
You think it's that bad?
I don't think it's a good look at all.
Wow.
Like, she's going to have to... I haven't checked. I don't know if she's put anything out today, any sort of clarification, but I think it deems clarification.
Yeah, we talked about this before. Like, we got a lot of freedoms in this country. And, on the board games, they would put the ages of players, 2 and up. I always used to laugh at, like, between ages 2 and 103. Like, what if you're 104, you're out? But I used to say, like, the game of life is pretty simple. Players 18 and up. I mean, come on, right? Like, that's the rule. If you can't follow that rule as a 30-year-old man, players 18 and up, then you got something seriously wrong with you.
Right.
And you need to be institutionalized.
Yeah.
If you're a 30, 40, 50-year-old guy, I mean, and you can't abide by that, there's something, if your addiction or your compulsion to have relationships with people under that age, and then look, I get in some states the consent age is 16, and I get that, and that's why I've always made the argument, as a society, we got to decide what is right and what's wrong, and I've always said whatever age you should be able to drive an automobile. I've always said you're an adult if you can drive a multi-ton pound of steel and take somebody else out, and if we decide that's 18, great, it's 18, but it's 18 for everything then. It's a drink of beer, smoke a cigarette, vote, whatever it is. You're an adult if you can do that and put other people in harm's way. But we have all these different ages, and this is 16, and this is 21, and this is 18. That's never made any sense to me.
No, I think the whole situation... Did you read through any of the emails that were released?
Just the public stuff that people have talked about. And look, I don't... This is why I think Trump has handled all of this so wrong. When you're... and
you have to keep in mind, those emails that were released were from Epstein's estate.
Right. So...
That's completely different. Those are separate from the criminal case files that are currently being held by the DOJ and the FBI.
Right. It's his personal... But that's my point. If you're Trump, you have to know what engagement you had with this guy. You have to know that you're the president of the United States, you're reviled by half the country, everybody's looking to get you, and everybody hates Epstein. And they know somebody...
As they should.
As they should. But they know somebody went to those islands, or that island. They know somebody went to see those girls. It wasn't all just Prince Andrew. And so you clearly had some level of engagement with him, as did thousands of other people. And so the best thing for Trump from the beginning would have been to just come clean and go, look, like thousands of other people, I knew this dude, I engaged with him, I thought he was a weirdo, I kicked him out. You're going to find correspondence with us, you're going to find engagements with us, you're going to find maybe transactions with us, but none of that. At no time did I engage in any illegal activity. At no time did I observe any illegal activity. And as soon as I got any sort of wind of what was going, I'm just making this up, right? He would come up with a much coherent, clearer statement, although it's Trump, so maybe he wouldn't. But like, he has created this for himself by, one, refusing to just come out with all of it and acting like he barely knew the guy. And then he looks like he's covering it up by fighting the release of all the stuff. And then people go, well, why? Why are you fighting it? What is in there that you don't want
us to
right.
see?
And I don't think that makes you a conspiracy theorist or a gotcha person or any of that by saying, why is our government fighting the release of this information?
You got to forget about party lines when it comes to this. If there's anybody in any of these documents and records who did anything wrong, regardless of party, they need to be held accountable. Whether it's Trump, Clinton, Obama, whoever.
Yeah, no, you're
leaders
right.
of other countries.
And her trying to make that distinction was very odd. And now that you've said that, it'll be interesting to see what the fallout is. Hey, Matt Hiblin, our boss, although he says he's not our boss, he's only our boss when it's easy for him.
Right.
We were having an interesting conversation.
It's like selective hearing.
Well, we were having an interesting conversation during the break, and you've been in radio management. You've been in management. So any person who's ever been in management, I'm going to be curious to get their opinion on this, whether they would let an employee do what we're about to talk about next.
Okay.
All right. You have no idea what I'm about to tell you.
I have no idea.
Right.
I love it when you do this. It's Kendall Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Tony Katz.
The Affordable Care Act is not affordable, and the people who claimed it's affordable now tell you that we have to pay subsidies in order to make it affordable for the people. Now, there was some talk that Democrats were going to try and engage some level of delay, air traffic controllers not getting paid, military not getting paid, and children starving in order to get their political way. And they think that that's progress. Children were going hungry, I was told.
Tony Katz, mornings 6 to 9 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Hammer here for my friends at AAA. The holidays are here. It's upon us, and so is winter weather. This year, stay prepared and give everyone on your list the gift of a peace of mind by giving them a AAA membership. As a AAA member, you get roadside assistance 24/7, 365. Flat tire, dead battery, you name it, AAA is there. You also get exclusive travel discounts, hotels, rental cars, and all the cool events happening around the Hoosier State this holiday season. Now through the end of the year, new members can join AAA for just $50 for a 1-year classic membership and add an associate for free. This is a great gift idea. Give someone you care about a AAA membership. Visit AAA.com and use the code HOLIDAY25. That's HOLIDAY25 at AAA.com, or just call 844-GO-AAA-GO or visit your local AAA office. Give the gift of AAA this holiday season. Tell them Hammer from Hammer and Nigel sent you.
The deals and specials are sizzling hot. It's the Central Indiana Gun and Knife Show this Saturday and Sunday at the Madison County Fairgrounds in Alexandria. The best dealers in the region. Hundreds of tables. Just $6 for adults. Kids 12 and under get in free. Must be 18 or accompanied by an adult. Buy, sell, trade. This Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Madison County Fairgrounds in Alexandria. For more info, visit CentralIndianaGunShows.com.
Do you remember what was happening in America? Families struggling, billions in wasteful spending. But Senator Todd Young fought back. He voted for working family tax cuts, and Senator Young voted to crack down on waste, fraud, and abuse, saving taxpayers billions. So call Senator Todd Young at 202-224-5623 and thank him for supporting the Working Families Tax Cut. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15. Go to DrexelIN.com for details.
We know that around the holidays, things don't always go as planned. That's why Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. So make memories this season in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Over 2,000 to choose from. And buy with zero down. Yes, zero down delivers. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. It includes a 128-point vehicle inspection, plus a free Carfax history report. Plus, we'll pay top dollar for your trade. Bring Hubler your old car for an immediate appraisal. No matter where your plans take you, spread cheer all season long, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Happy holidays, Indiana. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 convenient locations. Select models. Approved credit. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Fall in Indiana is prep season, the smart time to get your home ready before the temperatures drop and the snow gets here. Because here's the truth. Roof, siding, gutter, and window problems don't fix themselves. One missing shingle turns into a bad leak. Clogged gutters lead to ice dams. And drafty siding or bad insulation means sky-high heating bills all winter long. That's why you need Moss Roofing. Family owned right here in Indiana for over 30 years, Moss Roofing gives you a free, no-obligation inspection. They'll spot problems now, before the cold settles in, so you're not scrambling in January. And here's a bonus. Thanks to new energy tax credits and Indiana Energy Saver rebates, you could save big on insulation and efficiency upgrades. That's money back in your pocket while protecting your home. So don't wait. Call Moss Roofing today at 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 747-3665 or online at mossroofing.com. Get your home winter ready this fall with people you can trust. mossroofing.com every shingle time.
This hour powered by Family Heating and Air, your American Standard Air dealer. Nobody cares for you like family.
Well, I'm going to get in big trouble when someone views my search history.
I know.
Because I'm just getting out here with it. You're going to see over the past 5 minutes, I looked up pedophilia definition.
Correct.
And that was followed by escaped chimp zoo.
Right.
Because there's a escaped chimp on the loose at the Indy Zoo, Casey.
I know, a chimpanzee loose in the zoo. So the guests were asked to shelter in place, some inside the dolphin exhibit. They've got fire and EMS crews there. And it's in the zoo. It hasn't left the zoo property.
So that they know of.
It's believed to be Mara. They know which
they know which one it is.
Which monkey's on the loose.
So Fox 59 has this other news outlets beginning to report this. That the fire crews, they said, were called out on a reported animal bite.
Ooh.
So, I mean, imagine. So the zoo is open this late into the year?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't a bunch of stuff be shut down? Don't the outside animals
get cold?
Yeah. Maybe that's why
inside.
this chimp escaped.
Yeah.
It's cold.
It's cold. Wow. Yeah. A bus driver who claimed to be at the zoo on a field trip with the children. Mm-hmm. There's a monkey on the loose.
So there you go. The zoo's. If you're going to the zoo today, you better be ready because there's an escaped chimp causing havoc at the Indianapolis Zoo.
Clearly, well, they're probably not letting people in right now.
You ever have a dog escape?
They're sheltering in place. Yes, Gracie used to run away.
Oh, yeah.
A couple times.
Yeah. All right. Oh, okay. So I have a question for you. Matt Hiblin, our boss, when he wants to be our boss, and I got in this very spirited debate about this.
Oh, no.
I'll tell you what. I probably need more time than we have in this short little segment that we have. Well, this is like anybody who has been a boss. I'm going to be fascinated to get their input on this. And I was going to bring it right up, but then we got derailed by the escaped chimp at the zoo. So why don't we take a quick break, and then when we come back, we can get into if this has ever happened to you as a boss and how you let your employee handle that request.
Okay.
All right.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Fall in Indiana is prep season, the smart time to get your home ready before the temperatures drop and the snow gets here. Because here's the truth. Roof, siding, gutter, and window problems don't fix themselves. One missing shingle turns into a bad leak. Clogged gutters lead to ice dams. And drafty siding or bad insulation means sky-high heating bills all winter long. That's why you need Moss Roofing. Family owned right here in Indiana for over 30 years, Moss Roofing gives you a free, no-obligation inspection. They'll spot problems now, before the cold settles in, so you're not scrambling in January. And here's a bonus. Thanks to new energy tax credits and Indiana Energy Saver rebates, you could save big on insulation and efficiency upgrades. That's money back in your pocket while protecting your home. So don't wait. Call Moss Roofing today at 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 747-3665 or online at mossroofing.com. Get your home winter ready this fall with people you can trust. mossroofing.com every shingle time.
Barack Obama is back and pushing Democrat-run states like California to rig the midterm elections and put more leftists in Congress. Joe Biden already counted illegals in the 2020 census, but they still want more.
We've watched the Democrats destroy our country.
Now, President Trump is fighting back, and it's time for Indiana to join that fight. Indiana legislators will have a chance to stand with President Trump, level the playing field, and pass fair maps when they convene for a special session on December 1st. Trump's agenda to save America hangs in the balance, and now more than ever, we need leaders with the stomach for a fight. Senator Jim Buck is refusing to tell Hoosiers if he stands with President Trump or Barack Obama and Gavin Newsom. Call Senator Jim Buck today and tell him our country can't afford for him to sit this fight out. It's time for him to stand with President Trump and pass fair maps now. Paid for by Building a Better Economy.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Hundreds of thousands at risk. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 11:30. More than 300,000 Hoosiers could lose Medicaid after Indiana ends its contract with MD Wise. Diana Bishop says she's worried her 3-year-old might soon be without coverage.
I, of course, called like other places I heard about marketplace insurance, and so I'm trying to figure out if that's going to be something that we can do.
Starting January 1st, MD Wise will no longer serve Healthy Indiana Plan or Hoosier Healthwise. Hamilton County teachers looking for a raise after voting down a new contract due to a pay freeze this week, while educators in Lawrence Township are getting a 2% salary increase. The National Weather Service says the best chance for rain in the state won't arrive until early next week. Temperatures will be climbing towards 70 for a high this weekend. And it's the regional round of high school football tonight. 8 teams will be broken down to 4 in each class in the IHSAA state tournament. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
All right, keep your feet on the steering wheel or I can see them. First you go letting oversized invisible rabbits drive motor vehicles. Next thing you know, you got them speeding all over town. Dang it, Harvey! Wow, the fire and hurry. It ain't rabbit season, is it? Oh, on your way to the gun and knife and outdoor show, you say, huh? Down at the fairgrounds? Well, I don't blame you. They got everything outdoor enthusiasts like ourselves could ever want or need. Yep, you name it, they got it right there. What's that? That's why you gotta hurry to buy up all the guns, knives, and rabbit stewing cookbooks they got. Well, of all the harebrained ideas, you can't do that. Why? Well, because the Indy 1500 Gun, Knife, and Outdoor Show is only the largest show of its kind this side of the Mississippi. Harvey, what's wrong with you? Get your paws off me! Hey, you just rabbit punching officer of the law, mister! Harvey, get back here! Harvey, come back! Harvey! Oh, dang it, I just knew this was going to be a bad hair day.
Celebrity voice imaginary character impersonated. The Indy 1500 Gun, Knife, and Outdoor Show this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the State Fairgrounds.
As a caregiver, managing your loved one's health can at times be overwhelming. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. In a moment, I'll share 3 tips to help you manage your loved one's medical care effectively.
Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you.
Tip number 1, keep a list of all medications, dosages, and schedules to ensure your loved one is taking their medication correctly. Second, attend doctor's appointments with your loved one when you're able. And finally, stay organized by keeping forms, notes, and other important documents in one secure place. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access the library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Give family a call for your family maintenance plan, 317-577-8077. Maintenance is crucial.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Need to sell your home without the hassle? Sell your home to people you can trust. Call Simple Quarters, 317-900-HOME. Simple Quarters, sponsor of Fill Up in the News with Tony Katz.
Okay, you've been a boss before, so you're like the perfect person for me to ask this work.
Boss babe.
Yep. Workplace etiquette question.
Oh.
And anybody who's been a boss.
Yeah.
Actually, this is great whether you've been a boss or been around a boss. And everybody. This is a conversation for everyone.
So pretty much this applies to all of us.
So we're moving studios here sometime. They keep changing the day.
Yeah.
We don't know. It's been like a 2-year threat.
Right.
But they claim it's getting close. And there's all these things that are going to be changing over and blah, blah, blah. And they sent some big, long email out about all these things that had to be done.
It's titled, This is Important.
And it's more for people like Kevin who actually have to press the buttons and press the buttons, move the sliders. I was trying to come up with a way to say some things, and I thought, well, that might not come off the way I wanted it to come off. So all the stuff, all the technological stuff, right? Not really much for us. But I went in and saw Matt Hiblin, who is, depending on what day it is and what the topic is, our boss.
He's probably doing circles on his temples right now.
Yeah. Well, the way, and this has been the basically the entire time I've had this show with the first blonde lady and then the carnival of people and now you. He's always told me the same thing.
What?
I'm not your boss,
Mhm.
unless he wants to tell us to do something. Then he's our boss. But when we need something, I'm not your boss. You have to ask David. But we were having this conversation. I said, okay, I had some questions about this transferring all of our stuff over to the new building, and we kind of worked through it, and I don't think I'm going to need to do a whole bunch of stuff. But then I said, well, worst case scenario, if you guys ever fire me, like, don't I get like 5 minutes to just clear off what I want before I go? And he goes, ooh, I don't know about all that. And I said, well, it's not like I've been some horrible employee and I'm not going out in a blaze of glory. If we ever reach a point where we're going to mutually part ways, I think, I'm not going to like take a baseball bat to the windows or something on my way out the door. Now I may cling to every post possible as you guys carry me out. But I think, like after 9 years of being here, pretty reliable, decent guy. Would I get 5 minutes to clean my, to
clean off your desk?
Well, no, to get there's stuff I would want that I've just saved on here.
No, not always.
And he said, I don't know about that.
No, many times it'll be your access will be turned off as you're getting fired.
So that's my question to you. If but it's not somebody you don't know. I think if we left, it would just be, hey, we couldn't come to a mutual agreement on, all the crap I've pulled off 9 years. If they haven't gotten rid of me by now, it's going to have to be, we can't come to some mutual agreement or whatever, right? It's not going to be some highly confrontational thing.
As far as you know.
Well, I'm very good at knowing where the line is. I'm right up to that line. But
most of the time when people are on the bubble, they know they're on the bubble.
Really? So you should start doing it.
Yeah.
But have you ever had that where somebody, you had to let them go and then they needed to get something off the...
Yeah, I've had all scenarios. The scenario where they were escorted out with security.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've had the scenario of, go ahead, I'll let you do it. Or the scenario was as you're giving them the information, they're being locked out of the system. So...
Because, I told him there's things that I want... That like some of our old shows.
Well, then you better get it now.
No, but I don't know. I don't even know where to put it.
You need a hard drive, like a USB
But then I
drive.
gotta keep track of that.
Well, if you want it, sorry, you're making it the company's responsibility now.
They make everything my responsibility. We're having this conversation on a daily basis, aren't we?
No, if you're the one who wants it, it's on you to get it.
So you would not, if you were my boss and I'd been here for 9 years and in some unexpected turn of events.
I think it really would determine on what the turn of events were like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like clearly, if I did some heinous thing.
look at you right now. You're losing your temper completely.
I do this every day for 3 hours.
I know. That's just the way you are.
That's why I'm so effective in my personal life.
It's when I lose my temper that it really gets attention.
Which, I'm not going to go into why.
No, don't.
But she did the other day, and it was great. It was glorious. I told her, I said, you should do that every day.
No.
You know in the cartoons where...
you do it enough for both of us.
You know in the cartoons where the character's jaw drops and it goes all the way to the floor and the mouth opens and the tongue rolls out like a red carpet? That was everybody watching it. They were like, I can't believe she had that in her.
She's so nice.
I was like, wait a second. I'm saying the same thing and you just ignore me and she does it and it's some earth-shattering event.
Right. Because I'm nice and reasonable. So when I do it, it gets attention. When you do it all the time, it's just noise.
So you say it would be unreasonable of me to just have enough trust in the people that I work for. Again, unless I did something that warranted, for cause or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
That if we all just kind of mutually agreed that, hey, it's time to go, or they, said, can't afford to pay or whatever, you would not grant me 5 minutes. I could have supervision. You could watch me do it.
Yeah,
I think
possibly.
I've earned that, haven't I?
Yeah, possibly. With supervision. I think the real risk is that if you're an employee who is departing, they own technically everything you've done.
What, I'm going to steal a trade secret?
Possibly.
How we did the Kendall and Casey show?
I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know what you have up your sleeve.
Who had to go out with security?
But at the end of the day, who had to?
Yeah, what's the story with that?
Somebody threw something and it hit somebody else in the head.
After you told them they were fired?
No, that's why they were fired.
Oh, that's why they got fired.
Yeah.
They threw a plant? Like a plant?
It was...
Or a Marconi?
It was a cart deck. Do you remember? Cart deck, do you remember what 8 tracks look like? It's very similar to that.
Tell me about the 50s, Casey. Tell me how... Tell me
That was not the 50s. That was the late 90s before everything was digital. You know, there are still turntables here in this radio station or mini cassette decks, MIDIs. Nobody's used those in 30 years.
Somebody
yet they're still hanging
threw a
around.
cart deck at an employee?
Yeah, his co-host.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
And so you, as the supervisor, had to say, "You out of here." Mm-hmm. And you got...
Well, yeah, you can't throw someone at your co-host's head.
Did somebody come to you and go... Did the victim come to you and go, "I just got a cart thrown at my head"?
Actually, I witnessed it.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then you said you're out. But you had to get Buzz and Leon. You had, like, security on staff?
Clearly tempers were flaring.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
You had, like, security there, or you had to call someone to come be security?
Well, you know, there were some designated bigger fellas.
Oh, yeah.
Who were acting as security.
Yeah.
But I was at another broadcast facility where there was security. They had someone in uniform as security who had to be called once.
Well, now I'm just going to bring a hard drive and just get it all off now.
I think really if there's some audio files that you want to save and keep so that when you're retired and 70 and sitting in your rocking chair and thinking about the good old days when you had that fantastic radio show with that wonderful woman who was so nice to you.
She's now 109, still doing great.
And you want to listen to that, you can pull all that audio up wherever you are.
Yeah, that was just fascinating. Like, it never dawned on me, like, what if in this business, because a lot of places, you turn in my 2 weeks, whatever. Da, 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 da. I don't think they do that here, do they? In radio, do you turn in 2 weeks? I've never gone willingly. I've gone willingly, but I've never, the times I've gone, I was told that I was going.
You were uninvited.
Do they let you in radio because you have,
I've had that both ways.
Do you turn in 2 weeks?
Yeah, and sometimes 3 hours.
And you let them keep going?
It kind of really depends on the person.
Because I was always told, like, because it's a live
microphone.
But if you're going willingly and you're like, here's my 2 weeks, why would you sabotage that?
Right, exactly. Because you want to have a good reference.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Right. But chances are you already have the next job lined up anyway.
Somebody asked this in the YouTube chat. Do you have the audio of the guy losing it?
Wouldn't that be awesome? No, I don't think so.
What did the other guy do that made him so mad he threw a cart deck at him?
He threw a cart deck at a woman's head.
What'd she do?
She did nothing. That's why he was let go. Because he had a temper.
He had other things.
He was having an issue.
I gotcha.
Rob,
well, Kev,
let this be a lesson
Kev,
to you.
I just want to let you know that if you ever get let go and you need anything off these servers, you just let me know, and I will pull them off, and I will meet you somewhere at that Buc-ee's there that's going in Greenwood, and I will give you whatever you need. You don't have to worry about a thing, Kev. I got your back.
I will keep that in mind.
Okay.
That was an uplifting segment. I'm glad we did that. Yeah.
About your demise, about getting fired, no, just you want something, it's on you to get it.
All right.
Okay.
It's time for us to go, Kevin?
It's almost time for us to go.
Not yet? No, I mean for this segment.
Oh, yeah.
He's playing the music.
Okay, we have to talk about, what's it called? Polyworking?
I don't know. What is it called?
Polyworking.
I don't.
Speaking of working.
Is that safe for this family-oriented program?
I think so.
Sounds dangerous.
It's based on an article that the Associated Press put out. We're going to talk about it coming up. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel's show this afternoon. It's Beer Sample Friday, the biggest stories in Indy. And did I mention it's Beer Sample Friday, baby? Let's go!
All right, keep your feet on the steering wheel or I can see them. First you go letting oversized invisible rabbits drive motor vehicles. Next thing you know, you got them speeding all over town. Dang it, Harvey! Wow, the fired hurry. It ain't rabbit season, is it? Oh, on your way to the gun and knife and outdoor show, you say, huh? Down at the fairgrounds? Well, I don't blame you. They got everything outdoor enthusiasts like ourselves could ever want or need. Yep, you name it, they got it right there. What's that? That's why you gotta hurry to buy up all the guns, knives, and rabbit stewing cookbooks they got. Well, of all the harebrained ideas, you can't do that. Why? Well, because the Indy 1500 Gun, Knife, and Outdoor Show is only the largest show of its kind this side of the Mississippi. Harvey, what's wrong with you? Get your paws off me! Hey, you just rabbit punched an officer of the law, mister! Harvey, get back here! Harvey, come back! Harvey! Oh, dang it, I just knew this was going to be a bad hair day.
Celebrity voice imaginary character impersonated. The Indy 1500 Gun, Knife, and Outdoor Show this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the State Fairgrounds.
It's that time of year again, when the leaves turn, the days get shorter, and you hear a lot about Medicare open enrollment. If you're feeling overwhelmed by all the options, you're not alone. Original Medicare, Advantage plans, Part D, Medigap, it's a lot to sort through, and making the wrong choice can cost you more than just your financial confidence. That's where Howard Bailey Financial comes in. At Howard Bailey, we don't just help you pick a Medicare plan, we help you make a more confident choice with your full financial picture in mind. Our team has licensed Medicare professionals backed by experienced financial advisors, all working together to help you retire with purpose. Get started by texting CARE to 888-494-5004 to speak with the Howard Bailey team and start your Medicare conversation today. At Howard Bailey Financial, we make Medicare simple so you can focus on enjoying the season, not stressing about it. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. See disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Woke radical liberals are screwing up this country, but Senator Jim Banks is fighting back. He backed one big, beautiful tax cut for working families, ending Social Security taxes for nearly all seniors, and taxes on tips and overtime gone. So call Senator Jim Banks at 202-224-4814. and thank him for backing working family tax cuts and putting America first. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis is everything that's right about Central Indiana. They've been locally family-owned for 50 years, helping our local economy remain strong by employing 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis is proud to do business right here in the great state of Indiana. They're a conservative-minded company that shares our values and stands by their products and services. You can call Garage Doors of Indianapolis today for service today. 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
WIBC cares, and if you or someone you care about needs food assistance, we have resources for you, including food distribution locations with an interactive map. Also, learn how you can make a difference for friends and neighbors in need, all at WIBC.com.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. That's 800-948-1659.
Thinning hair? This year, grow your hair back like I did. Call 317-522-2995 or visit WeGrowHairIndy.com.
Join us for Downtown Indy Alliance's 63rd Annual Circle of Lights, presented by IBEW Local 481, Friday, November 28th, with live entertainment featuring acts from ISO's Yuletide Celebration, the Indianapolis Children's Choir, and Clayton Anderson. Go to downtownindy.org/holidays.
So wait. People are trying to do 2 jobs at the same time, but not only by know they're doing 2 jobs.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. Okay, so you've heard of quiet quitting. That was the phrase for a while.
What is that?
That's where you kind of like just do the bare minimum so you don't get fired at your job. You kind of quit, but you don't really tell your boss you're quitting.
Oh, like you have a job where you've come to the conclusion I do so little that I can get away with doing very little.
The bare minimum.
And as long as I just check whatever the like you said, the bare minimum of boxes are nobody's going to notice,
Right.
and I can just basically legally thieve money from this company,
Right.
for as long as they'll let it happen.
And then that turned into job hugging, which was, things aren't so great out there. I better keep this job as long as I can.
Yeah.
And now the new phrase is polyworking.
Oh.
Polyworking. So that means that workers are doing a side job, maybe even 2 or 3 side jobs, and not telling their boss. And that's because, their salaries have not increased. There's inflation. They're fearing a layoff. Maybe they're trying to tap into a new career venture without telling their current employer.
Now, I think this is important. By the way, it's Kendall and Casey show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. I was having this conversation with my wife yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's important to note, and it's just random you brought this up.
Yeah.
Because my wife and I were talking.
I'm not spying on you. I did not have a camera in your house.
I have no idea what the kids do these days, but my wife, because she's very young and beautiful, is totally in tune to what all the young people do.
Right.
And she told me, she said, now, because I think we need to clarify, like, this is not, I got a part-time job in the evenings or the weekends. Like, we're talking about while you're supposed to be doing your other job, you find another job that expects as little from you as the first job, so you can do both jobs
without anybody knowing.
Yeah,
exactly. And a lot of people are doing this. They say there's instability in their workplace, or they're afraid they're going to lose income, or they're reluctant to trust one employer to provide a steady job that lasts. Now, some people are also dipping their toe in maybe a career change, and they're afraid to go, 100% in, so they'll just dabble a little while they're still doing their full-time job.
Right, because, a couple years ago, because I love golf and we had a child on the way, I said I'm going to take a part-time job helping run the golf course / bartend. And it's not like it was some secret. I wasn't missing work here to, be there.
Right, and our bosses here knew you were doing that. So that's not really polyworking. Now, if you were to run the pro shop while you're on the air, that would have been polyworking.
Okay, so Gabrielle and I then got into a conversation about how many jobs realistically some person could have. Like, let's just say you had no responsibility. Because I told her, I said, now I'm guessing most of these people who do this are single people and they don't have children.
Oh, well, right.
Because even having one full-time job with the child, that's a lot. Certainly a full-time and a part-time job with a kid, that's a lot. But there's no way, like, people are having multiple full-time jobs for the most part and having children.
And multiple children, because having a child is a full-time job.
Now, so we got in conversation about how many jobs somebody could pull off. Like, legit, I'm not talking like I work 5 hours a week or like full-time jobs. How many could you pull off and still, because you got to sleep.
Sure.
And I guess some of these people maybe that have all these jobs don't have much of a social life, so they're not missing out on any sort of social interaction.
Right.
And we were saying you could probably realistically, without somebody catching on,
do 2.
No, we thought maybe 3.
3?
Depending on what the field is.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a field where they obviously would all have to be remote.
Well, that's what I was going to say. This has got to be remote work, and it's got to be a lot of computer-based work. Because you could do your full-time, #1 remote work job and turn around and kind of, tinker away at your side project.
Well, that's what
Nobody would know.
She was saying, like, if you had, some, whether it's in a field where it could not be a field where you have to interact with people on the regular.
So customer service is out.
No. It'd have to be a field where you can schedule your meetings around each other. You don't have many surprises in terms of, hey, we need you, and it couldn't be much of a job where there's any sort of emergency work that has to be done.
Or a lot of travel involved.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it'd have to be basically these jobs where everything is planned out for you. You know the work you have to do. You know you can balance them, and there's no real accountability of what are you actually doing as long as the work gets done.
Yeah, so we're saying this may not be the best option for an ER doctor. You definitely don't want him dabbling in his side job while he's giving you medical care.
Well, the other thing, and then it got me thinking of how, like, what a dinosaur I am.
Yeah.
Because I could never do any of these jobs. I have to do a job where you have to kind of be there. Not be there like I could do a radio show from home, but in a sense of you have to be physically performing something.
Correct.
Right? So I couldn't do one of these jobs because I'm not skilled enough with the computers to figure out how to do a bunch of this stuff.
You should have your wife teach you.
Well, I could learn. I just don't want to learn.
And you know what's going to happen?
I'm too old to learn.
You're going to be on the air, and I'm going to be like, hey, Rob, we're going to be talking about the IURC. And you're going to go, huh? And I'm going to say, IURC. And you're going to go, what? And I'll realize, oh, he's working his second job. He's polyworking over there when he's really supposed to be on the air.
But that's the way we do our show.
Paying attention to me.
That's the way we do our show now.
So
you say a bunch of topics, and then I go, "What are we doing?"
I know. So are you working a second job?
No, I'm just screwing around on my phone. Like I'm not doing anything. I'm just being a selfish, inconsiderate coworker.
I
but
knew
I might as well be getting
the
paid
truth
for it.
would come out eventually.
You're right, though. I should be getting paid for it. I'm wasting time.
Wait, you should be getting paid for being a selfish, bad coworker?
No, I'm saying if I'm going to not be paying attention to you, I might as well be getting paid for it.
That's true.
I'm just wasting time.
Quit screwing around on your phone and get a second job.
Speaking of screwing around, I'm done with this program for this week. I'm ready to go screw around all weekend.
All right. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for listening. We'll catch you back here on Monday. This has been Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that